Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Okay. Look at us starting. And
wow. Did you start it?
I started it.
All right.
Hello.
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 We're live.
We have Erica with us, Ryan's assistant and our friend.
Hi, friends.
Yes.
Hi,
friends. I'm back and better than ever. Kind of.
Woo!
Yeah, we're all in person together at my house.
Yeah.
Becca's still sticking around past NCECA for another week. What have you been doing this week?
Well, I've been throwing for Ryan, but I've not been throwing well for Ryan. I feel like I've been throwing really slowly.
But that's like your own standards, though, right? Like, of how much you're expecting to throw, or is it?
No.
I feel like you're not throwing things that you would typically throw in your own stuff, though.
Yeah, the clay's a little bit harder than normal, which is
like, Becca's like, your clay's too hard. You would think it's like groggy clay that's rock hard, but it's just
normal
medium
clay.
Softness clay.
I know. I try to explain to people that, like, when we drop a ball of clay, it, like, flattens out like
Deforms,
a pancake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
yeah, this keeps ball shape, for sure.
This does keep ball shape. But,
yeah.
No, it's fine. And it's been fun. I just also am, like, I'm exhausted, but also I haven't done, like, a full day's work in such a long time.
Like throwing.
Yeah, I'm such a wimp now. I'm like, 25, I am exhausted.
Next day your arms are like jelly. Yeah.
My arms are fine, but I think that the biggest thing is, like, I don't think that, I was going to post a video about this, but I don't think that it's foolish to expect yourself to do as good as you do in a normal, regular atmosphere. Like, for me to come from my studio where I'm comfortable in, it's foolish for me to be like, I'm going to do just as well in your atmosphere, or even, like, half as well. Because
there's a lot of variables, right?
There's a lot of different variables. Like, I'm standing up, the clay is harder, the bucket's in the wrong place for me.
The wheel's different.
Different.
You're not using the pedal like you normally would.
There's so many variables. I'm, like, cutting off and moving the piece with my hands instead of with,
pot lifters.
With pot lifters, like, there's not a long board, a line of, there's, like, so many different things that are different. Yeah. And so, like, it's foolish for me to be like, I'm going to throw 100 pieces today. Like, that is not really realistic when you're somebody else's space and using their space in a respectful way that's, like...
Yeah. Because you know I like it tidy, so you're probably
right. So I'm
that.
Like, trying not to, like, fling things all over the place and, like... Ain't nobody needing Erica to clean up my shit.
Well, I have a hard time cleaning up my stuff recently because, like, everything's been just so messy because I just haven't been very conscious when I'm throwing. And so it just makes everything so much harder to clean up afterwards. I'm like, I created this standard for myself. I shot myself in the foot. Like, like, how dare I follow these rules to a T?
Luckily, yours is within, like,
It's in
like a 6x6 area, including the tabletop. Like, it's not that much space, so...
Yeah, it like, but I will say I found... I found a slip splatter on some of your finished pieces on the table that I sit in front of.
Oh, I did see those the other day. I thought that was Becca, though.
No, that was me. That was totally me.
I thought that was me, too.
No, it was totally me. Because I've been finding them as, like, the last couple of times that I've seen those pots out. I was like, oh, shit, okay, I'm going to wipe them off, so...
I know, I've been like... Every time I walk to the door, I'm like, oh, fuck, my hand's all dirty, and, like...
Well, yeah, you said you didn't even know the water bucket was there to rinse your hands and stuff.
The first day.
So how'd you clean your hands then?
I just wipe my hands on a towel.
Oh, right, okay.
I, like, wipe it off with the sponge and then wipe my hands on a towel. And I'm also such a bitch about water. Like...
Yeah, she's like, where do I dump this water? I'm like, you just got done throwing, like...
I'm a picky bitch about water. Like, if I'm throwing 100 things... I have...
I feel like I'm learning a lot.
I feel like you swapped the water after like 20 pieces. You're like, let me clean my water.
I did not. There was like 2.5 inches of sludge at the bottom of his water. And so today...
No. The bucket you started with had nothing in it. You added water to it the first day.
Not that bucket. I'm not talking about that bucket. Like today, when I went to throw today, I like cleaned out the bottom of the bucket because there was stuff in there, right?
Yeah.
And then like after a good amount, I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's like too slippy and I can't do it. I know. I'm a fucking bitch. I was spoiled as shit. When I throw 100 pieces, I have 2 buckets of water.
Wow.
Like after 50 pieces, I switch out the buckets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I mean, we know the buckets, the clay settling is different depending on the clay you use.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So was the white clay water better than the...
Yeah, it was a little bit better. But it
does collect at the bottom, and that was sitting there for a bit, so I'm sure there was probably a half an
I
inch
still,
or
like,
an inch
dumped it out and filled it up again today. I am proud of myself that I... Oh, no, that's a lie.
I was gonna say, I hope you didn't dump any in the yard because you were trying to, but you probably did.
I did not dump any in the yard, and I did try.
Okay,
but
it's fine.
You asked me, and I was like, no, dump it in the reclaim bucket. Like,
yeah.
I have trimmings. Where'd you dump it? You dumped something out. Where'd you dump it?
No, I dumped it in the reclaim bucket, but I dumped the brown clay twice and the white clay once.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And the white clay, I was like, God damn it, I hope I have the right bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just throw until the end of the night where the bucket's going to settle anyways. I'm not throwing as many.
What do you do in the morning? Do you, like...
The clay's settled, I just throw with it. I mean, I might top it off with clean water.
I
might top it off with clean water, but I'm not consciously scooping all the slip from the very bottom because
out.
I'm just getting the clean water off the top. Like, I feel like the white doesn't really get nasty, I don't think. It doesn't get as sludgy. It doesn't get as sludgy as the brown.
I also filled up. I think it's maybe I don't know. Maybe it's how I throw. Like I'm a
little more aggressive.
I am a lot more aggressive than you. I feel like you throw on like 3/4 speed compared to my 1 speed.
Yeah. Basically,
and Marps, what the fuck, Marps? And this cat, and like. Also, I'm, like, looking at Ryan's shit when I'm throwing, and I'm like, I cannot, like, match his organicness.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It is impossible.
Like, I'm literally trying to throw uneven. Like, and you're not a bad thrower, that's not what I'm saying. Like, the way, I don't know how you do it, but, like...
It's, like, intentionally random, but it's...
Yes! Yes.
But you're not using a rib though.
I'm
if
not
you used a
using
rib,
a rib,
do you think you could?
I don't think so.
With the sharp edge of the rib?
Maybe. I'm like, when I was trying to do the spirals, I'm like, okay, go fast, slow down. Go fast, go slow down. I'm like trying to.
You're like intentionally.
I'm like trying to intentionally get your like organic waves, and it's just like so hard for me.
Well, like when I watch you throw all the time, but I think when people were watching at NCECA, there were a lot of people who'd like after he would put a spiral in, they'd be like, "Wow," and like you could hear them like saying that, yeah. And then somebody, when you did your first pull on the first bottle you did, she went, "That was a beautiful pull," and I was like, "Oh my god!" Okay.
I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, I heard a lot of commentary. It was great.
Okay.
Oh my god.
See, I'm so zoned into the throwing that I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I can still talk to people while I'm zoned in, but
oh yeah, people were like audibly like, "Whoa," and I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, like, the way that you throw is just so slow and methodical. Like, not slow. You're not slow. It's just that you're just paced. Yeah, you're paced well.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah, your wheel speed when I was seeing you throw those bottles was like, oh my gosh, that's like on the edge. But you figured out the right motion.
Well, and it was hard for me to throw on that wheel because for the people listening, you don't know how his wheel might be set up, but, like, he has his wheel pedal on top of the wheel head and he like adjusts it with his hand, and let's be clear, I broke his wheel the first day.
The other wheel, yeah.
After
luckily I have 2 wheels or 3 wheels technically, but
because I pushed the pedal down too hard because that wheel, the highest speed was almost too slow for me.
On the white clay?
On the first wheel, yeah.
Oh, really?
The
I think that one goes faster.
It does not, I promise you.
Oh, really?
Promise.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, ugh. And I like pushed it down because I knew I had to go to the highest speed, so I pushed it down, and then the wheel just stopped working. And then, but this wheel, it's like goes faster, and then when you push it down, it goes real slow, and then it bounces right back up to the speed. But like, I'm used to having my foot on the pedal all the time and adjusting the speed, and I think that also plays with how fast I can do things.
Yeah.
And that was tough. But it's been fun. Like, my ankle hasn't hurt until today. And I only think that it hurts today because we went down to the creek.
Okay. Does your...
Did it hurt after the creek?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So does your... Compared to, like, a day of throwing, obviously you weren't throwing as much as you normally would in production setting, but did your ankle feel better standing up for the day versus sitting for the day?
I don't think it matters.
Because it would be the same ankle as the wheel pedal, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it matters. Because when I have my foot on the pedal, it's like on the whole pedal and it moves with the pedal. Not like...
But it can be awkward to keep your ankle in a fixed position, right? Versus like flat.
That's true. I don't know. And you have those squishy mat boards that are nice to stand on.
Yeah.
I didn't
really
realize
nice.
how different that was to... How much difference that made.
Yeah.
Man, Crocs on top of those squishy mat boards, it's like walking on clouds.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I never thought I would be a person to get a pair of Crocs, but I might have to get a pair.
You can try mine.
I'm going to before I leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Never wore a pair.
No? Well, you can try them too.
Yeah, you can try them too. I think your feet are a little bit bigger than mine, but, you know.
What size shoe do you wear?
I'm a 9.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm like a 9.5, 10, so.
Yeah, well, one foot is a 7 and one's a 9, so I wear 9.
Huh, okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
All right, what are we talking about today?
Oh, right.
Or anything else that you're taking away from being here longer or anything?
No, just how fucking awesome my cats are. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been loving the
Like,
cul-de-sac life.
I love my cats, but, like, also, like, when you go on a walk and Lloyd follows you 3/4 of a mile down the road,
So cute.
that just makes it so much fucking better.
So
And then today when we went down to the creek and Babs just, like, hopped up, she was like, hey, I'm here. Like, and Lloyd was already there, but, like, that's the only thing. I wish that I could... I think I will let them out at where I park now, just because I trust them completely, but that's it.
And you've been getting some Etsy orders, which is good too.
Yeah, I've been getting Etsy orders. I didn't get any today, but that's fine. Yeah, so what are we're talking about...
NCECA.
NCECA.
Because it just happened last week.
Yes.
Fresh.
And Erica's here with us because she also went to NCECA.
That's right.
And it was her first one.
Her first one.
Mm-hmm. It definitely was my first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, from, like, being somebody that's not been in clay very long and going to NCECA, like, what were your expectations going into it? Did you know the scale of it, or what kind of...
I kind of understood the scale because, like, just being familiar with the Duke Convention Center, like, in Cincinnati, I'm like, okay, there's going to be a lot. I've been there for hiring events. I've been there for other things. I've been there for winter markets and stuff. So I kind of, like, understood the scale of it all. I think I definitely... Okay, you had made a post about imposter syndrome leading into it, and I related to that hard. And then I was, like, really into it at the conference. I was like, wow, I am not good at things. But I'm good at some things, but I'm not good at everything. And I'm like, I feel like a little baby.
It, like, humbles you, right?
Yeah, big time.
Plus, there's a bunch of students that go to it as well. I'm sure they get a lot
They
of
get
that.
checked big time.
Plus, they get, like, see their heroes sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, like, people they follow and...
I told her that was not reserved for just the noobs.
Okay.
Imposter syndrome, I think,
there's
happens
a lot
to
of people.
everybody at NCECA, probably.
Even people that have been doing it and, like, are in their careers or teaching or whatever, and they're like, oh, man, these people are on another level.
It's like when you watch, like, that guy throw that 6-foot tall pot, and you're just like, nope.
Like, how? Like, how?
How?
How the hell do you do that?
It's like when you watch Danny Meisiger throw a pot that's bigger than him, and you're like, how is this tiny man throwing this big-ass pot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say, like, it translates a lot into, like, I saw a lot of cool shit. Like, it's basically just, like, the moral of the story is I saw a lot of cool shit. Like, that's all I have. That's really, like, it's, my brain is so overloaded from so much information, and, like, you and I talked about this yesterday about just, like, trying to sort through everything and trying to figure out, like, what direction I'm gonna go in after this, and, like, I know, like, I don't necessarily need to make a definitive choice after this, but it feels like I have to make a definitive choice after this.
They're very pressuring, aren't they? The ceramics community is just, like, really pressuring.
They're so... Everybody is so...
Individuals? Like peers?
No, not individuals.
Everybody is just so nice, but everybody knows what they want, and it makes me very upset when I don't know what I want.
I don't think everybody knows what they want, though.
They act like they do.
They act
Who
like
does?
it.
I don't
just
know,
like in
everybody.
general.
Other people you talk to at the conference?
Yeah,
I
just
feel like
like
I didn't
people.
talk about people's
It's
work
like
that
an
much.
aura of sorts. It's like an it's not aura, an air.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I know what's up, and
It's
I'm like,
in the
oh
air.
my god,
It's
I
like
don't know what's up.
everybody's so excited that I think it brings out the confidence in them.
Yeah,
and you like see it like firsthand.
Plus, you're like around your people too. Like people know,
Yeah.
like you actually are around people who know what it feels like to be at the wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
So were there certain parts of the conference that you were looking into, like, getting really excited for? Was it certain talks, or was it vendor things? Was it the demos, or the galleries, or what were you specifically, like, looking forward to?
So, the things that I was most looking forward to were definitely the expo hall, mainly because, like, I got to, like, meet a bunch of people from a bunch of different places, like, not only just vendors, but, like, other artists and stuff, and, like, got to talk to them, and, like, it was just great. That was awesome. And then, I saw the 4 demonstrating artists, and that was cool.
Were those the main stage demos?
Yeah, the main stage demo. So that was Natasha Smoke Santiago, Beth Lowe, James C. Watkins, and Paul... sorry, Paul, I don't know your last name. I was trying to remember them.
We didn't go to them, so I didn't.
I didn't go to any of them.
You didn't go to any of them? They were actually very good.
We're very bad conference goers. You have to understand that.
See, I thrive in lectures. I love listening.
We do not.
That sounds like a snooze fest.
Yeah. There were some people who were, like, not into it, and you can tell. And, like, they would sit down for 2 seconds and then leave. But I could sit there I sat, the one from Beth Lowe and Natasha Smoke Santiago, that was the 4-hour-long lecture. I sat through 3.5 hours of it.
But they're demoing throughout, right?
Yeah, and they're, like, talking about their process and all, like, answering questions about their lives. They're literally just, like, talking, period. It's great.
I'm sure there's value to be gained from them, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the main draw for me would have been what they're demoing, but, like, if they're making big pots, like, I don't really have interest in seeing somebody make big pots. Like, sure, that's amazing there are people out there doing that, but
I think some of them are, like...
Doesn't...
Like, textural and,
the
surface decoration and stuff like that.
The other dude that was demoing with James Watkins, he was doing silk screening and printing on slip, which I thought was so fucking cool. Yeah. Like, it was just so interesting to see him, like... He would use a silk screen to do, like, the inverse of the image, and then he would literally, drop, or drip, I should say, slip into his own form that he made right there on the stage, and then he would just peel away the form, and then he had, like, a loose version of that print on slip. It was so cool.
So, I think that it's interesting, like, to hear Erica, like, talk about it, because, you know, you're, like, a newbie, like, fresh from the, you know... And, like, as somebody... I was telling somebody I'm not a huge fan of lectures, not because I don't like to learn. I love to learn. I just feel like right now in my life, I don't want to learn anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm at the point in my life where I'm just like, I got enough to handle, like, right now. And if somebody gave me one more thing to be like, oh, I should think about that, I think my brain would explode. And...
you weren't going away from it with ideas to experiment with.
Right, and I think that that's also, like, there's 2 types of people that go to conferences. There's the people that go to learn, and the people that go to see all their friends.
Network and stuff.
And to, like, see all their friends and make friends, you know? And we found that at ClayCon West as well, is that
Mm-hmm.
Like, we go there to make friends and support, and I felt the same way with NCECA.
Yeah.
I did go...
Otherwise, I feel like it's overwhelming if you feel like I have to learn everything.
Yeah. Unless you're one of those people.
You have to pick and choose, but
Yeah.
you're ultimately not going to be able to get everything, but...
Yeah, there was definitely some things that I missed that I wasn't, like, I just couldn't fit it in.
Yeah.
Or the other thing was that they was overlapping with something that I thought was more valuable to my experience. So,
Yeah.
like, I really had to, like, prioritize that.
Right.
Plus, the other thing is that my friend Emily came in from Boston, and she is very good at sending boundaries and telling me when her, like, cup is full and she's, like, done for the day. And so, like, I'm trying to learn from her on that, because at one point I literally was sitting in one of the lecture halls and I was like, if I hear another word, my brain is going to collapse. Like, this is not good. And it just kept repeating over and over again. Like, by the end of the day, I was just done. I was just exhausted.
Yeah.
So, but she pulled me out of there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What did we do the first night?
Wednesday night?
Wednesday night.
We didn't go to we went to the conference center that day, and I demoed, and then Wednesday night we did the shot glass exchange.
That we were very late for.
Yeah. But we were doing some other stuff throughout the day, though. What were we were just around the conference center, right?
You had a demo on Wednesday.
That was during the morning, though.
Yeah, that was at 11.
During the morning.
And then I might have went to a lecture, maybe. I went to a lecture for sure, and then we did some late lunch, and...
Yeah.
And then you went somewhere from lunch. I don't remember where you went, though. But
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. This feels like my trips to Europe when I was in high school.
The thing is, it feels like when you're talking to people, you don't want to be like, cut it off. We got to go do this other thing.
Yeah, I remember.
To go talk to more people.
On Wednesday night.
It's like, no, let's just sit in the...
Yeah.
And just keep talking.
Wednesday evening when we were about to go to the shot glass exchange, I was like, we have to go. We have to go. And then another person joined our group, and I was like, no, we have to go. And we, like, stayed for, like, 45 more minutes talking. And I was like, like, oh, can we go?
I didn't even see about anything, bless you, about the shot glass exchange. What was that? But...
Oh, that was a Clay Buddies get-together at Queen City Clay.
So Clay Buddies is a Facebook group, and it's, like, 40,000 people big, and it's huge. And Tim C asked us to be there. Which we were late,
but that wasn't like a big...
It wasn't a big thing.
It wasn't a big thing like, oh, we're waiting on so-and-so. No. They just do it.
They just do it. And that was cool, though, to see, like, a lot of the people from... A lot of Clay Buddies people are people that go to, like, the ClayCon West and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And people really love seeing Queen City.
Yeah, and at Queen City Clay, which... Ben did
Ben Clark.
Ben
we
Clark
talked on the podcast a few episodes ago.
I think it was 191.
I think
either 190 or 191.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But it's like a huge facility. I have to go there tomorrow.
189.
189.
They actually just send out an email blast about the spring pottery fair for signups, because I've done that was the
spring sale. They have in April.
Yeah,
that was the first sale I ever did. So they just sent that reminder out.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
Were you gonna do it?
No, I don't got enough pieces. No. There ain't no way.
Plus they had like so many gallery shows there, and then it was all nice looking. They had the retail shop open.
Yeah, it was nice.
I love their shop. Just walking through it makes me feel good.
Oh, and then Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday we took our friend Luke all around the town essentially, and he was just along for the ride. It's actually Joshua Himes' friend from up north, Indiana, and he's not going to listen to this because he doesn't know what podcasts are, but like he kept us company all night Wednesday. Like, we went to another house and like ate pizza and stuff, and he was fucking hysterical.
That's so cute.
Yeah, he was great. He was just along for the ride, no complaints.
Yeah.
Just, he was a riot.
And we were like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I'm just along for the ride.
That's so cute.
He was so flexible, because we had to prep for our talk on Thursday.
Yeah.
With Lindsay and Dante, and, he was just kind of like, Josh had to go to another dinner, so he was, you know,
Yeah.
had to split off from Josh, but he was a good time.
Yeah, we already have, like, inside jokes with him.
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking great.
That's so cute.
So, yeah, that was Wednesday. And then Thursday we had our...
We had our talk on Thursday. Thursday
Thursday.
morning, I don't think we...
No.
I don't know, what did we do? Did you demo? You didn't demo Thursday.
I demoed Friday. Nobody demoed on... Neither of us demoed on Thursday.
No.
I will say that Speedball Underglazes shot their shot and they probably made it with me.
Yes.
It's not even about the product on this level.
I think you should say that. Like, tell people what's going on. Like, why.
Like, I walked into their booth and they were the nicest fucking people on the planet.
Yeah, that was the first time I met Kelly from Speedball.
Yeah,
and I've been
they were
talking to her for like 3 years.
Oh, that's your first time meeting her?
I've never met her in person, no.
She literally, I mean, that was the first time I met her too, obviously. And, like, I walked up to her and she's just like, oh, I love Ryan. He's the best, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, you've known him for years.
We just
You're
talked
best
through-
friends. I can tell.
We just talked through email and Instagram and stuff.
Yeah,
She's so
like,
nice.
she was so nice. Like, she was so nice that she was like, oh my God, I want your earrings so bad. And I was like, oh, I have them. And I, like, left them with them. She bought, like, 2 pairs. And social media lady that I forgot her name.
Megan.
Yes, Megan bought 1 pair. And I was like, you guys are the fucking best.
Yeah, they're both so
and they were so nice. She literally was like, if there's anything wrong, we want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there's something that you don't like about this glaze, we want to know. And I was like, I'm the girl for you.
Yeah. You're like, I'll fucking tell you what's wrong.
cool. I'm not shy.
I'm the girl for you. And then, like, I went over to Mako, and it was just, like, a bunch of
Go ahead.
It was a bunch of fucking bros. Just, like, standing in a line. Just, like, selling their glaze. Mm-hmm. I hate to say that, but it was just, like...
They had 2 different areas. They had a glaze, which is the focal part of their business is the glaze.
And
right?
then their Mako presenters were, like, on a table, like, far, far
2
away.
rows over or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And, like... And I fucking, as we know, I fucking love Mako products. But I was so intimidated and I didn't know who to talk to. And I was like, whatever.
And if you said who you were, they probably wouldn't know who you were.
They wouldn't know who I was. And, like, I was like, meh, schmeh, I'll go back to Speedball.
Yeah.
Like, it was so, they were just so much friendlier than I ever expected them to be, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that's what, like, Dell, I think, was talking to you about it at ClayCon West, and Diana might have been, too. We were like, hey, you gotta go to Speedball. Like, they're cool people. Like,
they're cool people,
they'll help you out and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, it's about the product, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, you're so nice.
It really is all about the people.
And I was like, I can make it work.
I love you so much. Do you want to be best friends?
Yeah, but then we did our talk on Thursday.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, so that was, we did the, they had a podcast talk with Rebecca and Paul before us. Mm-hmm. Just to see, man, that room was fucking packed.
Yeah,
for theirs. And did you see I saw a video or photo for Flux Steak get together on Friday.
That was packed too.
That was packed too. They were probably the most packed
Yeah.
rooms, I'm guessing. They were both, I think, the morning ones too, so that probably helped.
I mean, it makes sense.
Or
Like,
early afternoon.
Paul's
the biggest audience.
is
probably.
big, and Rebecca's big too. And then
For Flux Sake, very technical and like very.
And I'm sure it's like,
so
oh, I have a chance to ask a question.
Yeah. I want my voice to be heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your guys' was packed too. I don't know what it looked like looking out at the audience, but like on my side of the room, people were sitting on the floor because there was too many people.
Yeah. I would say it was probably like 3/4 full, maybe.
Really? That's it?
There was a lot of seats that were empty.
Yeah, it was kind of scattered, but...
People don't like to sit next to each other.
Oh, I just plopped my butt right in between somebody. I was just like, oh, we're going to be friends now.
Mm-hmm. I know for Rebecca's podcast, I literally sat in the front, right next to her face.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you see me keep looking up at you guys and smiling like,
yeah.
Oh,
at the... doing it!
I just like at that like crowd gaze where you just like look around, you feel like you see like a couple faces and you're like, those are the faces you bounce between.
Do you know what?
And like see if they're resonating with what you're saying or not.
I almost died laughing during our talk because Julianne Roush.
Yeah.
She got up in the middle of the talk because she had to leave. Everybody has to, like, leave at some point.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
She gets up in the middle of the talk. She steps out, and her purse, like, the strap was around her waist, and it, like, fell down.
No.
It fell down all the way to the floor, and she was like, what's happening? And she's, like, trying to figure it out, and I caught a gaze with her friend, and we start fucking busting. Like, we're
I don't even remember this.
I was laughing silently. We were busting out laughing.
Did she go up the center aisle?
Yeah, she went up the center
Oh
aisle.
my gosh, how did I miss this?
And Dante was talking, and it was such a good thing that he was talking, because I was dying. I was like... It was a very good comedy relief moment,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, there was a few people getting up, but I'm like, hey, some people are gonna, like, get something out of this. Some people aren't. Like, but the thing was, the topic was tough, too, because it was learning through collaboration, which, when we picked the topic, Ben Carter was the one that, like, set up all this stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks to Ben. I think next year it'll be bigger, because they realize how big of a draw it was for the podcast stuff in general. But
Yeah.
he was basically like, hey, Ryan, we got to figure out a topic for this talk. And I was like, well, let me talk with the other. He's like, no, we need it like in an hour. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, let's think. So he like wanted to brainstorm on the phone. So he had to settle on something.
Yeah.
And we were like, we can roll with this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
It was a little elaborate. I feel like Luke was like, I feel like there wasn't really a point, but there was. Like, there was. It was just kind of like...
I feel like the commentary from the audience was good. Like, some of the questions about working in, like, a bigger studio and owning a studio and what
Yeah.
does that look like, and, like, the answers that you guys gave for, like, having that separation between, like, owning a studio and providing your own work within it.
Yeah.
Like, there were some good questions in there that I thought were, like, sort of on topic, but, like, but still got good information out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost wish that they, like, started with the Q&A and then, like...
You tailored the discussion based on the Q&A?
That'd be fun.
Say we're going to take 3 questions from the audience and that's it. So, like, make them good.
Yeah.
That would be a good, just, like...
That'd be fun.
Open-ended.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a lot for 4
then
people.
Then you can't,
I think,
you can't, like, plan that, and I like that, but I know that... Like,
yeah, we could totally do that.
We could totally do that. I think that Lindsay and Dante could probably totally do that, but...
Or, like, what if you did, like, a pre-write-it, and, like you said, like, this is, like,
that's a good idea.
General idea of where we want to shoot. Write in your questions, and we'll pick the best couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. And then after ours, as far as the podcast go, the Color Network and the Potters of Colors podcast.
The Color Network is a group. I don't think
Color Network is a group, but they like joined in with the Potters of Color podcast. And then Adam Chow. And they did a talk after, which was really, really good. And also, you should go listen to the Potters of Color podcast.
Talk to Robbie
Lob.
Lob.
She is so wonderful. I love her. She's great. So, anyway, that was Thursday. Oh, and then we went to...
Wait, is Robin the one that you introduced me on Wednesday to?
I think so, maybe.
She was great. Yeah. She came here Friday night?
No. Different
one?
No,
okay, wait,
didn't.
I was going to say, I remember meeting a Robin, and I was just like, loved her. She was so nice.
Robbie Lob is like, she's a black woman with, let's see, she had like seashells in her hair.
I'm pretty sure I met her, yeah.
Yeah, she had like seashells in her hair. I saw her, after throwing shit, I think, on Thursday? Oh, we went to throwing shit on Thursday.
That was the morning. That's what we went to in the morning.
And that was so good. Did you go to that?
No, I was at the Beth Lowe thing.
Oh, okay. That was so
good.
good. It was so good. Yeah. That was with
Rich Brown,
Stephen Phillips.
Yep.
Diana
Adams,
and April Adewale.
Okay.
Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah, that was fucking great. Yeah. And then... Yes. And then we went to...
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Geist
that night, yep.
That was our podcast meetup. So all of the podcasts met up at Ryan Geist, which really didn't happen, but...
It wasn't... Yeah, it was just kind of like an informal, like, we're going to be there.
It wasn't
like... Hey, everybody come talk to us. It was
just like, we're going to be there.
We were just around. I think you were over in the one area, and I was in the the imposters pop-up more so.
Yeah, and then there was the imposters pop-up. I impostered the imposters pop-up.
Yes. And what do you mean by that?
Which ruffled a few feathers, I think.
That's fine.
Whatever.
Who cares?
Well, also, in my defense, we had a fucking event there.
Yeah.
We had a meetup.
People were there to see you, so you're allowed to sell your work to the people who were there to see you. It's fine. Who cares?
Yeah, you just happen to have work there.
I just happen to have work there in a Rubbermaid.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not like all of the other potters aren't schlepping pots everywhere else as well. So
right, I sold some stuff at a table, Rubbermaid,
some earrings,
and then Ryan schmoozed all the people. I didn't see you once.
I was in the imposters room for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
Time.
Did people come up to you and say hi from
podcasts
and stuff?
I met Juliet Davin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know her work. She does a lot of carving work.
Okay.
And she actually came up and said, I wanted to introduce myself. I listen to the podcast, and I wanted to say your mom always supports me so much and gives me all the comments on my posts and all this stuff.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's so nice.
If we learned anything from this week, is that Deidre is
a saint,
way more famous than we are. Like,
she's so cute. I love her. She wanted to buy something from me.
I know.
And I was just like, you don't have to buy it. Your son does so much for me. You can just have it. Just have it. Please just have it. And she was like, no, I'm going to pay you, you weirdo. I'm like, no, I'm not going to take your money. I love you.
She would have loved going to the pop-up on Thursday.
Oh, I know.
She would have loved that.
It's a bummer she couldn't have. Because, there were so many good artists there,
that place is packed.
And they fucking killed it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they did, but their shelves were very empty by the time that it was done.
Yeah. I mean, there were, 15 or 20 artists in there?
I don't know.
They were,
6, 8,
they were
probably 18,
yeah.
17, 18.
I mean, I bought stuff from 3 people there, so.
Yeah.
And
that was a pretty small area for what was going on in there.
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
And loud.
Yeah, it was very loud.
Very loud.
I thought it was more loud in the bigger area, though. With the music and all that shit going on.
I was sensory overload after 2 hours. I was like, we need to leave.
It was all loud.
Yeah, the second we finished our food, I was just like, I have to go home. I have to be done. And you know me. I'm not a sensory overload person. I love being loud and I love talking. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. But it was fun.
Yeah,
it was nice meeting people. There were a lot of really nice people.
You know what we haven't mentioned is that Jody came and stayed with us.
Yes. Jody from Goodwill Ceramics.
That was definitely a highlight of the week.
He was cool as hell.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Yeah, he was great.
He's from Canada.
Yeah, he's from Vancouver Island.
Yep.
So I don't know how... I think I was just asking him if he was coming to NCECA or not. And then I was kind of feeling it out because I knew Becca was coming... But I didn't know if she was staying in the house or not.
Yeah, and then when I was like, I'm staying in the van.
Yeah, I mean, I already had a bed available, so I was like, hey, Jody, I know you're coming, and he's coming from the West Coast, Canada, so I'm like, he's coming pretty far to come to this event.
Yeah.
So I was like, do you want to stay here? Because I knew he wouldn't have a car.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't know if it's his first NCECA. He said it was his first NCECA, and,
That was really nice of you.
And what's funny is that,
let's get him to come hang out.
He was like, yeah, Jody's going to come. And I was like, is he going to be weird?
The only experience Becca knows from Jody is that he always, asks questions on the podcast. She doesn't really interact with him.
I was like, what if he's weird? What
if he sniffs your pillow?
What if he's a fucking weirdo? No, but he was, so awesome.
He's so sweet.
Jody, I accidentally put your cup in the microwave because the one with the gold on
luster. She almost killed our microwave, our brand new microwave.
Yeah, I'm on a roll.
Nice.
Becca's I will break 3 things before I leave.
It's like a mythical tradition.
I am that friend.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so that was great. And then on Friday
morning we did a little podcast roundtable with just the podcasters, which was great.
Yeah.
Good just to share some ideas and all that.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that was valuable? I feel like everybody's got such different podcasts that it's hard to, like... You almost have to group off into, like, what you care to talk about. Because it was so
like
hard.
The talkers versus technical,
I
maybe?
also could have talked to them for, like, 5 hours. Like,
yeah. And there's some topics that are going to be not relevant at all. Like, some people are just getting started and you're talking about, like, sponsors and, like... stuff like that, and it's like, I mean, it's not bad information to know about, but
and it's like, I don't know. It's just, there was like a lot. I did gain a lot from it. I felt like I personally thought that it was good, but it was definitely felt like it could go longer.
Yeah, and it felt interrupted sometimes because people were going in and out and.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday or Friday morning, and then we didn't do another talk. I did a demo. We did a demo.
You did a demo first.
Oh my
Yeah, how was your demo at Mudworks?
My demo was a full-on shit show. Did I tell you this?
No, what happened?
Okay. So Ryan already knows this, but okay. I demoed at Dirty Girls Pottery Tools / Kentucky Mudworks, and it was fine. It was fine. It was total operator error situation, but like, so they have the bat system, right?
Yeah.
And I only saw that. I didn't see the like the big bat, but it doesn't matter because like the first piece I did was kind of small, whatever. And I'm more of like a teacher demoer, so spouting off a few tips and blah blah blah. And then somebody was like, make a big bowl. And I was like, okay. And so I pull off this big blob of clay and then throw it down on the bat system. No. Now, my bat system at home, if I did that, it would stay. It would stay in and it would be fine. Mm-hmm. This bat system did not do that because people have been throwing on it for 3 days and it's like shot to shit.
Yeah.
And they're not taking care of it like it's their own kind of thing.
Yeah, like demo people are absolutely terrible apparently. But like, so, like, I mean, terrible to tools. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So, I started and then I start centering the clay and it is quite literally like so off center. I look like
How many pounds of clay is this?
It's probably 7 pounds.
Okay. And is the wheel at the right height for you? Because I know it was a standing wheel.
No, and the wheel was way too tall. I had to stand on a box of clay. And I have to stand on this box of clay, and then I'm trying to center this clay, and this fucking Shimpo Whisper is moving all over the place because this piece of clay is just fucking offset. It looked like I was fresh out of Ceramics 1.
Was it like moving your hands like this?
Yes. And I was like, what's even funnier about it is that in the throwing shit demo, I fucking yelled at Steven because his wheel was moving and I was like, pull it towards you. And some lady was like, he knows how to center. And I'm like, I'm not telling you how to center, you bitch.
You didn't say that. But
I didn't say that, but I thought
really loudly.
But we're in a room, in an auditorium room, like the ballroom. There's like 500 people in here probably.
And I'm like, pull it towards you. And so what's funny is that this is literally, I'm like, man, Karma's a fucking bitch. Because like this clay is going all the fucking way. And so I literally am pulling it towards me to get it centered. And I'm doing the exact same thing I told Steven to do, which was fucking hysterical. And I'm like, I don't know what's fucking wrong with this. And I look at it and there's like a fucking crowd brewing. And I'm like,
you're like,
I swear to God, I am a professional. and so finally I get it to donut and it is like off center as shit. Like once I like get like, once I like fully get like the base done, it's like fully off centered. And so I look at it.
This base is outside the bat square, I'm guessing.
I'm sure it is. I think it was the round one, but yes, it was outside of it.
Ooh.
And I was like, I look up and I'm like, well, we're gonna make this a learning lesson. So I'm like, has anybody ever centered a piece of clay while it's in donut stage? And so I taught them how to center it while it's in donut stage. And then we did our first pull and I realized that the bat is quite literally up a 1/4 inch on one side and still in the bottom on the other side.
No.
It might have been totally out. I don't even know.
So it didn't get sandwiched down in there when you first put it in.
Yeah. So there was like clay under the bat.
Or...
There was clay under the bat. So like I'm pulling this bowl up and it is fucking off center as shit.
Yeah.
And like by the end of it, everybody was like, "Holy shit!" Like
is she okay?
I made like a 14-inch bowl. Like by the end of it, and it was centered once we got done with it. But it was funny because like the middle part on the base wasn't centered. I was like, so the inside base isn't centered. We're not fucking touching it.
Too bad. It's a demo. I don't care.
I was like, this is what we're gonna do. And so I showed him how to do the wing method, and everybody's like, I've never seen that before. Blah blah blah. So it turned out to be fine, and it was a great learning lesson for most of the people in the crowd. But oh, fuck me. It was so stressful at the beginning. I was like, this is bad.
I was waiting for you to say the bat like went flying off or something when you were trying
I wish. That would have been so much better.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Ryan, I'm about to expose you. Did you see
oh, yes!
at the beginning
I saw it.
I was chill. I was fine.
Yeah. Ryan's bucket. Okay, no. You must have stepped on the pedal.
It was a noob mistake.
The pedal was full throttle.
The pedal was on.
He went to go turn the machine on.
I flipped the switch and I was like, oh, it's not on. So I got to plug it up.
Yeah.
But the machine was still on.
Oh, no!
The pedal was still down, but...
And he had just prepped all of his clay.
The bag of
just finished doing it.
Yeah, I had like half a bag of clay still sitting right on top of the wheel in the bag. And then I had a bunch of balls of clay sitting on the wheel. The splash pan, everything in there, and the bucket of water's on the top of the counter. Plug it up. That bad boy starts moving.
Shoom!
That clay goes everywhere.
Oh
the bucket goes everywhere.
You could have
heard
a
splash
pin
pan
drop.
goes flying.
Everyone.
I know, that was so funny.
And then everybody just scours in to like help pick it up, and they're toweling the floor. And
I know, it's a good thing they had towels.
Yeah.
And then I was
that
like,
was great.
Also, it's a good thing it was clean water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were like the first demo of the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were like, well, we asked you to make it messy, so.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
They were like, hey, like, don't worry about it. Like,
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, gosh. That was fucking hysterical. Like.
And then I just threw a bunch of spoon rests, and I was just... the demo that day was just supposed to be like, hey, I use their bats. Like, I'm just throwing stuff. So
yeah.
I just threw some bottles and bowls and spoon rests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
For sure. I think it's funny that both of us had like a whole shit show situation at the beginning of our demos. Mine was much worse.
I don't
but
think
like,
anybody really saw the... Maybe like 10 people.
I saw it.
I saw it.
Okay,
and now all of
people.
you can hear about it.
It's fine, whatever.
I was like, oh, you're not coming out unscathed. I'm
No,
gonna expose you.
It's whatever.
Mine was so bad. I had fucking clay up to my elbows.
That's so funny.
And on the standing wheel, that was even so much worse.
I saw that box and it was freaking sandwiched down from...
Well, I weigh a lot.
I'm like, what is this box over here like that?
I said
that
on the
wheel
box.
was so fucking high, though.
It was really high. Like, who was their first demoer? Like, seriously.
I don't know.
Like, I'm 5'2".
Maybe Rich Brown was demoing over there or something.
I don't know, man. He demoed at Giffen Grip.
He was on his knees at Giffen Grip.
Yeah, he was on his knees.
What?
Rich Brown is actually, they did figure it out. He's like half an inch shorter than Isaac. And Isaac's
so tall.
6'8".
It's like 6'7" or something.
Yeah, he's 6'7.5" and Isaac's 6'8".
I went up to both of them on Friday night and it was just like, wow, it's so nice to be around mutual tall people. And they kind of stared at me like, what? And I was like, they're not going to understand. And
You're
then
like,
I walked
I'm the
away.
tallest female at this party. Chill.
Yep. Literally by like 2 inches.
Like,
well, maybe Liz. Liz is she's a little taller.
She
She's
had
wearing
heels on.
heels, too, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Sorry, Liz.
She's probably
Yeah.
like 5'9", I'm guessing. I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and also, we met our sponsor.
Yeah, we did. So we talked to Dimitri and all the other... I think it was a lot of the family there.
Yeah. At L&L Kilns.
Yep.
And Ryan... Oh, Ryan, we have a lot of new things to talk about because we're very excited about it.
Yeah.
Ryan got a brand new kiln, and my favorite... I will just say that my favorite thing about the L&L kiln that I saw in person was that the thermocouple has a fucking guard. It's got a tube that goes around the thermocouple, and so none of those black little flecky things come off onto the bottom of your kiln. It just gets all caught into the little tube. And and if you accidentally hit the tube, you hit the tube instead of the thermocouple. That was absolutely 100% my favorite thing of the kiln and of any kiln I've ever seen.
Yeah. The older one that I have has the tube completely
Enclosed.
But I think you were saying manufacturing-wise, they stopped doing that or
yeah,
something.
I think so. From what I understand, they were just really expensive and they maybe weren't as... I don't know if they were as accurate, but they wore down quicker.
Oh, okay. Because I can't... With a closed tube, you can't see the quality of the thermocouple in the moment. So... Yeah. I mean... You should be swapping it out with the elements.
Yeah, this one literally just looks like a small PVC pipe over the thermocouple, but it's like obviously ceramics.
And it's still sticking into the kiln by like a couple inches. So it's...
Which, if we could figure out how to make them not stick into the kilns, that would be great. But I don't think that'll ever happen.
I will say, speaking of booths that have really great personalities, that team was so nice to me for no reason. They were just so nice.
L&L?
Yeah, they were just like, I don't like...
Oh, you went over to L&L?
Yeah, and I went over there before I even met them through, like, as part of you, and I was just talking to them, and they were so nice to me.
God, they were so friendly.
They're so friendly.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I didn't even tell you I work for Ryan yet. Usually people were a lot nicer to me after I tell them that I work for Ryan. And they're like, oh, okay, Ryan, okay, can you tell him da-da-da-da-da? Or like, oh, you do these things for him. Oh, cool, I know about his Instagram. I'm like, yeah. But like, I didn't say anything to the L&L people, and then they came over to the booth after I'd already been over there, and like they were like, oh, you work for Ryan, okay, cool. But they were already nice to me, so it was great.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Dimitri is like so freaking nice. Like, he
really
was
cool dude.
Smiling the whole time. Like, I've never met anybody that could smile that much.
They had a freaking huge crowd Friday, so they were giving a kiln away.
Yeah.
It was like what's the cubic feet on that? It was like
a 3 cubic foot.
3 cubic foot kiln.
Baby kiln.
And yeah, they were throwing the drawings into the kiln. So
into the kiln.
And then they had a freaking crowd, like 200 people around this booth or something on Friday.
Okay, I think it was more than 200. It was so many people.
Yeah.
And then when somebody finally won it, because they only drew people that were in the crowd.
Yeah.
And it was this like older lady. She was probably in her 60s to 70s.
That's so cute.
And she won, and she was so excited.
Oh my god, I would have cried.
Yeah,
That's
she was so
cute.
excited. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had to, like, oh my god, we had to roll out your kiln into my van.
Yep.
That was fun.
Yep.
That was an adventure just trying to get it out. They wouldn't let us park in the loading dock, which is understandable, but like...
I think, were they doing that because the vendors were all in the loading dock trying to get their shit onto trucks and stuff? Or was it like liability stuff they didn't want?
I think it's liability. I think it's also like time. Like...
They don't know that you're going to be in and out of there.
Right. Every vendor has to, like, sign up for a time and a space, like, a lot. So they have, like, this whole thing. And the loading dock lady was super nice. She was like, if I could let you in, I would. But I can't.
Yeah.
But we were like, well, could you open the door so we could roll the kiln out? She's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that worked.
So we did that. And everybody got the kiln in. And it's in Ryan's garage.
Yes, it is. I had a situation when I was trying to get out of the garage over there. For one, I had to circle the block like 4 times after I did get out of the garage. But I was trying to get out of the garage. I told you this.
Oh.
And then I was like pulling up to the exit. And the people in front of me got out. But there's this guy standing by the kiosk. And he like lifted the thing for them. So he ended up, like when you pulled up, he was like, oh, this machine's broken. It's cash only. And he was like, it's $10. And we're like, what? So, and I saw the person in front of me. He like did something with the thing and pulled the arm up, and they like went under and left. And I pulled up to him, and I'm like, the screen is on at the kiosk. And I'm like, he's wearing a beanie, like a toboggan with a tag still on it. And I'm like, I don't think he works here. I think he's just getting cash from people.
That's a great angle. I would do that.
And just cheating the garage to like get cash. So I was like, I'm like, I need a receipt. Like, I can't do this. I'm not doing cash and stuff. I'm like, how do I get a receipt? And he's like arguing with me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to go to the other thing. And he's like, all right, you're going to have to go over there. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's cash, whatever. It's not going to work. And then I get over there. He, like, follows me over to the other kiosk.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, because I got to turn around and go a ways away, and I get up to it, and he's like right at the back end of the vehicle. I'm like, I better like hurry up. So I got the card, got it in there, got the receipt, and he's like, oh, it's working again. All right. So I'm like,
fuck you, buddy.
dude, come on. I know you just like.
But also, so smart.
Yeah. Get the bag, but stop bothering me.
I was not having it. So that was interesting.
That's a clever little angle. I'd do that.
Yeah.
If I was homeless.
Oh, yeah. I'd be so crafty.
So crafty.
Yeah.
I mean, he fucking had his things ready. He's like, make sure you have your ticket when I was like pulling up, and then he's like, the ticket is your receipt. I'm like, there's nothing that tells me there's a dollar figure on here. He's like, no, that's your receipt. I'm like,
no.
Bro, I'm not buying
risky.
it.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work.
So we got that back on Friday.
Yeah.
And then we had a get together.
Well, we also had a demo on Friday.
Yeah, you skipped the freaking demo, Becca.
Oh, yeah, you had a demo.
Yeah.
And Erica debuted herself.
Yes. Erica, how did you like the demo? How did it go? What'd you think?
I will say, I almost had a panic attack leading up to it. I had to lay on the floor upstairs while we were having lunch. Emily and Kayla and this girl Hillary that we had just met, we were eating lunch together, and I was like, I think I'm going to pass out. I think I need to lay down. And so I had to lay down. It was not good, but everything was fine. So we made our way over there, got it all set up, and it was a lot of fun. I felt like, kind of, there were some, like, things where I feel like I was just talking to talk, but I feel like everybody else does that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just talking to
Well,
talk.
the thing is, we kind of had our own things. Like, people would ask me, I didn't really hear the people talking to you, what they were asking you or anything.
Yeah.
We were sitting right next to each other, but
yeah, it's just
I was
so
doing
loud.
my own thing, you were doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And people were talking to you, like, right in front of you. And somebody else was talking to me over here, so...
Yeah.
Some people didn't know we, like, worked together, or they...
Well, somebody goes, are these yours? I'm like, no. Like, I didn't follow up. And I was like, I should have said, no, they're his.
No.
Nope, I'm just here.
No, he paid me $20. I live on the streets.
Yeah, so it's like...
Another way to be crafty.
But yeah, it was a good way to show, because you apply all the underglazes for all of my pots, so I'm like, why not have Erica demo, and then you got a conference pass from it.
Yeah, it was great. Speaking of speedball people being amazing, they were so nice to me. And, like, they just kept saying such nice things to me. And I'm like, please stop. Please stop. It's making me feel uncomfy.
Okay, but, like, they wanted to take one of your bowls, right? Or, like, they bought a bowl. Did they buy one?
So Megan wanted to do a mug swap, which is so cute. She's the cutest. And then Kelly was like, I want to buy something from you. And I was like... Wow, what an honor. Thank you so much. Like, you see so much art all the time. This is an honor.
So, I shit you not, the smile on Erica's face when she was walking, I saw her walking into the actual conference with her box, and she was, like, holding onto it for dear life with both of her hands.
And I'm sweating because I ran.
Sweating and
You just had the box in your car?
Yeah, well, I forgot to take them out after my last session at Rick's, and I just they've been in there for probably 4 months at this point.
Yeah, and so she's sweating, she's running, and she's, like, smiling all at the same time. And she looks like she's about to pass out. And then she fucking ran into some lady.
Because I don't have any protection between the pods.
Yeah, you just had a fucking...
I raw dog those pods, baby. They're out in the open. They're clanking together. Literally one small little bump. It was like...
If there could be any trailer for a new person at NCECA, that's what I would want it to be, is just Erica, like, running with the box.
Just so happy to be there.
Oh, God.
What'd you do? Just, like, rear end her? Or was it, like, a turn the corner, run into somebody?
Yeah, we just, like, kind of both, like, shoulder checked each other on accident, and she went, oh! And I was like, it's okay,
she was waiting for the shatter to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ooh, it was
actually,
so
honestly,
funny.
Erica's faced the entire conference. We need to put, like, a picture of Erica, but, like, I would say that's the same face as Dory smiling, like, all the time. All the time. You just, like, look over at Erica, and you can tell that she was bored out of her goddamn mind. But she was still smiling. Like,
I'm like, I'm here for a good time. It's gonna be okay.
Erica, you just fucking made NCECA for me, honestly.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
I like fucking traded a cup for a Giffen grip.
You did?
I did.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
They traded multiple cups.
It was 1.5.
Oh, okay.
One big one, one small one. And I probably could have gotten away with just one of them, but, like...
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, okay.
He didn't know who you were, though, right?
He has no fucking idea who I am. And...
He doesn't know who I am. I'm just kidding.
Well, somebody else did, though.
Well, so Rebecca, I knew everybody that was demoing.
Right,
But, like,
yeah.
But I walked up, it was on Friday, and I looked at the lady and I go, so, how much are you selling the demo, Giffen grips for? And she looked at me and she goes, you know what? You're the first person to ask me that question.
Really?
How was that the first?
And she goes, and usually they're gone by Wednesday.
What?
Yeah.
That was a sign right there.
Yeah, and I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. And so, and then right when I'm asking her that question, some lady walks past me.
Oh, just a random lady.
Holding my fidget stone and saying, I've been fucking holding this all day. So, like, I guess, token of NCECA was I passed out all my fidget stones. And
At our presentation, and you were just giving them out to people otherwise.
Yeah,
too.
otherwise, too. Like, Kurt literally was like, I hate you. My thumbprint is fucking gone.
Yeah.
Like, and so I had all these potters fidgeting with fidget stones. And then oh, that was me.
Oh.
And then the Giffen grip guy, I think his name's Zach. Right?
Zach Giffen.
Yeah, Zach Giffen. Yeah. He was like, what was that? And I was like, oh, I've been giving out these fidget stones. And I handed him one. And he was like, wow. I was like, yeah, my cups are like that too. And I was right next to the Kentucky Millworks booth. So I was like, hold. And I ran over to the Kentucky Millworks booth.
Yeah, that's real close.
And grabbed a cup and brought it back. And I was like, these are my cups. I actually have to use the Giffen grip to, like,
sand them
down, and I need one of the minis because I have a Shimpo Aspire. And he was like, wow, this is so nice. I think my dad would love this. And I was like, well, they're for sale. And I don't know why, but I was fucking selly at NCECA. I think it was because I needed the money. And, like...
So how'd you convert that from these are for sale to...
Yeah, so I was like, well, these are for sale. And he was like, well, are they cone 10? I was like, no. And then he was like, well, I can't get them for my dad. He'll want to know if they're cone 10. I was like, don't tell him. Like, he doesn't have to know. He's like, he's really picky. And he started talking about that. And then I casually, it was like, hey, the lady had mentioned that she didn't know what price you were going to do the demo wheels for, what percentage off. And he was like, you want to just trade?
Oh.
Wow.
See, that's not salesy, though. You were just, like, feeling it out, right?
Yeah, you were inquisitive asking.
Oh, yeah. I was inquisitive asking, for sure. And he was like, you want to just trade? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to just trade.
Wow.
Did you say that?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then and then the lady that was next to him was like, these are amazing. I was like, you can have one, too. Like, so she got a small one, and he got a big one.
Nice.
That's great. Wow.
And I got a demo.
So you're on board with the mini Giffen grip. It's not one of the worst tools or anything.
I told him, I said, it's not my favorite tool, but it's a necessary evil. And that's how I feel. Yeah. Still.
And with the Shimpo Aspire, I mean, that's probably the only tool like that you can...
Yeah, it's like the only thing that works with the Shimpo Aspire. So I was like really trying to figure out how I was going to sand anything on the road. Mm-hmm. And now that it's completely... Like, I even set up a little...
That's great.
...drill thing. Mm-hmm. And you put the...
Oh, right. We were talking about that.
You put the cup on top of a sponge on a drill bit. The only problem with that is that you have to go full speed.
Yeah, and if something goes flying, it's gone.
Because if you do it at not full speed, it, like, wobbles. Mm-hmm. But if you do it at full speed, it, like, centrifugal force, like, gets it centered.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did fling a cup across the room.
Fuck.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll just stick to the give and
Because I remember we were talking about like mounting it somehow, and
yeah, so
doing the like foot pedal switch on, switch off kind of deal.
Yeah, so that was good.
Nice.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was like, I really didn't want to spend any money this trip, and that I was like, I'm just gonna buy one. You know, I'm not gonna get a better deal.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have to spend any money on it. After all, I was like, phew.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You're always open to trade stuff, so.
I fucking love trading.
Yeah.
If we could trade for everything in our life, I would.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot of space for like other pots and stuff, but
yeah,
like that tool that you're gonna get a lot of life out of, and
yeah. I mean, who knows? It could be gone to shit though. I mean, it was a demo tool.
Yeah.
But she did get all the different things and like put them in the box and stuff.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
I mean, how bad could it be? That thing was a brand spanking new tool.
Yeah, I don't think it could be that bad. It looked really clean too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got some new shelves too.
Oh yeah, tell them about
some
that.
new advancers. Well, they're not new. I mean, so they had a few on their table. I went over there on Friday after your demo. After your Mudworks demo in the morning, before our speedball one, and I was just like, hey, I just got some new advancers. I got 3 of them, and I was wondering if I could get any that you all still have out. I got a new kiln coming, and I want to make sure they'll fit. So they still had 2 that were really old.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were from an old manufacturing. But they'd never seen the inside of a kiln, so they sold them to me at a good price, and they were like, yeah, you've been posting the shit out of your shelves on Instagram because he recognized my name. So people out there, put your Instagram tag on your NCECA name tag so people recognize your name, or put it on your profile.
Sure.
So when because like I always tag companies whenever I'm using their stuff. I feel like it's a trickle of like you wear them down, not wear them down, but like you share their stuff because you like it, and then they know who you are, so that if there's chances that come up, then you can
he knew who I was.
Make a good connection with them. Really?
Yeah, he knew who I was, and I think it's probably because I bought $3,000 worth of shelves from him. But
it's a really small company too.
It's a small. Well, what's interesting about Kiln Shelf or Advancers is that it's a small company in a fucking giant company. So, like, it's a tiny company that's a subsidiary. I learned this at their booth. Subsidiary of one of the largest companies in the world.
What is it?
I have no idea.
Cool.
Well, they said they get their things molded or manufactured, like, over in Asia or something.
Yeah, and so that company, like, I was talking to the guy, and he was like, it's one of the oldest ones, too. So it was like...
Is it the,
he said it was a company before the United States was even formed.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
The shelves say, like, Gaston or something.
Yeah, something crazy. It's,
it's like a manufacturing company.
Manufacturing company. So, like, yeah, so I guess they're, like, a small company within that large company.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But, yeah, I had broken a shelf, and I think that I, unfortunately, like... stained my name a little bit, but he was really nice. Like, he likes me. He's just
I mean, he's gonna help you out with your small kiln with the shelf and stuff. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I bought I think I bought 4 halves and 6 centers.
Those things ain't cheap. Like,
no, I spent a good $3,000 to $5,000 at Advancer.
Yeah.
So
I got a good deal.
Yeah.
Instagram helped me out with that.
Yeah, you did.
Tagging people. So.
Tag them. But yeah, it's like, oof, I would...
It sounds so simple that you're like unloading your kiln, but like tag the company that made the shelf. Because the shelf is the shelf stands out. Like, you know that's what that shelf is when you see it in a kiln. So
he also said that, this is something that's interesting. He said that he would cut down... So they have a scrap pile, like if they break or whatever.
Yeah.
They have just like, a shelf graveyard. And he said that he could cut down little shelves for my mini shelf.
Really?
And I was like, I would fucking love that because
your firebox is really like what's the inside of it?
The firebox is 8 by 8 by 4.5, but my shelf is 7 by 7, and it's really hard to get it in. But but they're like, it's almost a 1/2 inch thick, and those Advancers are like 3/4 inch thick. No.
They're like 3/8 inch thick.
3/8 inch thick. And so they'll be a little bit thinner, And I think I could tell him to make them 6 inches or 6.5 instead of 7.
Yeah.
So I could at least fit my fucking fingers in there.
Yeah.
And so...
You're like scraping kiln brick on the way
So
down.
yeah, if you have a fire brick and you want... I mean, I'm sure they'd still be expensive, but he says that he'll special cut them.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to, like, contact them.
That wasn't a Becca special, was it?
No. Like, he does cut them for people.
Yeah, because, I mean, they have extra shells.
Yeah,
And
like
also, if they have, like, a kiln shelf graveyard, I mean, I'm sure that they have at least a good handful of them.
Yeah, like, he will cut, like, a specific size for you.
Yeah.
And why do you feel like it's needed for your kiln because you can fit a whole extra shelf in there because of it?
Yeah, I think I could. Yeah. And, like...
Because it's super shallow and you're not firing anything massive.
Yeah, well, and also I'm, like, firing underglaze straight on the shelf with the earrings. Mm-hmm. So it would be nice to, have that so that it can just kind of pop off. But, but yeah, that was just really cool. His name's Malcolm, too, which I fucking love that name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Malcolm.
Yeah. So
honestly, I did not retain a single name this weekend. I met so many people.
Even other Potters and stuff?
That's okay.
Unfortunately. I mean, like, I recognize most of their Instagram handles, but not a single name registered in my brain.
Yeah.
Not a single one. Sorry, guys.
That is A-okay.
I just can't. I'm terrible with names. I'm great with faces. So.
Yeah. There are so many people you interact with, like...
Yeah.
And then you'll cross paths with them a couple times over the weekend, and...
Yeah, I'm like, oh, hey, you. Hey, what's up, champ? Hey, Betty. I missed you. Oh, my God, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, man, hey, you. My favorite phrase.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you.
Speaking of a hey, you moment, speaking of seeing people, random thing. So, there was this childhood friend that I had. He had an older sister... Still has. They're still alive. And she was the main slipcast mold person for, I think it was East Fork Pottery.
Oh, yeah.
At Jesse Reiner. And she just recently moved back to Cincinnati, and she was at NCECA, and I randomly saw her. I was like, Jesse! And she goes, Erica?
Erica?
What the hell are you doing here?
That's like Small World inside of Small World.
Yeah.
And she was in the clay lines, like, when I first joined, like, 5 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
That's wild.
She's
so when you were talking about that and you said she was a mold maker at East Fork and she's moving back, I'm like, I know exactly who you're talking about. But I didn't know there was like a connection there.
Big old crossover episode. Yeah, I was friends with her little brother in preschool and kindergarten, and we were just besties. It was great. I love the Reiner family. They're amazing. But I just saw her, and then I walked away and I was talking to Emily about who she was, and she goes, wow, that's crazy that you even saw her, let alone, like...
At NCECA.
Immediately recognized her. I was just like, oh, yeah, she's got a face I can't forget. Like, the Reiners all look the same.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah. So
we were talking about all these kiln companies. Do we need to mention Did we do our little ad thing? And
yeah, we already did our ad. Oh, well, we didn't do hotkilns.com, but we talked about how nice they were.
All right.
And that's worth $1 million.
All right, hotkilns.com, just in case.
Hotkilns.com.
Hotkilns. We're still working on our jingle. Hotkilns.com.
Oh, I kind of like that. Hotkilns.com.
But, like, it needs more.
You need, like, a little...
It needs a little tagline or something.
Yeah, it needs, like, a little zinger. I got nothing. What? I need to think about this.
We need to think about it.
I'll think about it. Don't worry.
But you had something, wasn't it? Like
it was something to do with the Smash Mouth All Stars.
Yeah,
yeah.
Hey, now we're a hot kiln. Get your bricks on.
Go L&L.
Go fire. Oh goodness. Yeah. Oh, then we went to the party.
Yeah, so our party get together Friday, which was just like... So it sparked from my mom wanting to meet Heidi, was the spark of this whole thing.
It was Deidre and Heidi Fehrenbacher.
It's their party.
It was their party.
Yeah. And they didn't even interact that much. I think Heidi wasn't even here very long, but...
Yeah.
So funny.
But yeah, so my mom texted me probably 3 weeks before or something, was like, hey, so I'm like talking with Heidi. I want to make sure I get time to meet her. They were on vacation, and they made a trip. They were in Arlington, Virginia with my cousin because they just had twins, and they're seeing them. And then they went to Gatlinburg for vacation.
Yeah.
And they came directly from Gatlinburg here, just for the night.
Just for the night.
Just to meet Heidi.
Like, they were going to drive home that night.
I literally told them, I looked your mom dead in the eye. I was like, you were not driving home tonight. If you have to come to my apartment, I will sleep on the couch. You can have my bed.
She told me that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not letting you drive back to Louisville.
No, they slept on this.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
But, yeah, so, like, everybody that walked in was like, Deidre! Like...
That was great.
We're like,
So
Deech!
She's the sweetest.
Yeah, and so it was just like a few of our friends.
There weren't a few. There were like
There's a lot.
There were like 40 or 50 people here.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Just like the 40, 50 closest of our friends.
Yeah. It wasn't like all of NCECA though. I would say we were pretty.
Well, I was so I was like stressed about it leading up to it because I was like, are we gonna have enough food? And then are we gonna have everything and make sure it's all like I wouldn't worry about like the house cleanliness stuff because like we've been taking care of it and we generally are pretty clean.
Yeah, you guys are clean.
And I was like, is it gonna be cold? Can we do our like bonfire down the hill or not? And
yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah, and like and we were pretty selective mostly for the numbers wise. It's a smallish, not small house, but
yeah,
smallish, not small house.
And it's like we have different circles of people that we like talk with, so
yeah.
But everybody kind of intermingled and chatted. Like they could bounce around to different conversations and not feel like it wasn't like cliquey or anything.
It felt very family vibey.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, especially with the fresh baked cookies going in the.
Oh my god!
kitchen.
And fucking okay.
I literally walked in. He goes, "You want a cookie?" I go, "I'm okay." He goes, "It's hot out the oven." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, okay.
You said the right words.
So Andrew Linderman, I knew he was coming with cookies, and I knew he was gonna do that, but it was still fucking great.
It was so cute.
He told us that he was like, "I'm preheat that oven to 350 when I get there."
Yeah. So like he brought his wife's like family secret chocolate chip cookie recipe. And
it was so good, too.
He froze it when he was in Madison. He froze it in Madison and used it as his cooler thing all the way down with a couple brewskis, a couple beers, and frozen chili.
Yeah, he gave us some frozen chili, too.
Like,
what a Midwestern thing to do.
And it was in a fucking yogurt container.
And the smelliest cheese we have ever smelled in our life.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Said,
backstory, I hate cheese.
It just said aged brick on it. I was like, is this a fucking name of cheese? Why does it just say aged brick?
Yes, I'll just take some of that aged brick.
It smelled so fucking bad. And I called him and I was like, why the fuck did you give us this smelly cheese? And he was like, dude, it's from Wisconsin. I was like, we aren't Wisconsins.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was the best gesture ever. I was so excited for that cheese.
Yeah.
And then we cut it open and I was like, nope.
Well, like...
it smelled like wet feet or something. Like
we all... Like, you guys all smelled it, and then Emily goes, wait, have Erica smell it. She'll hate it. And then you guys shoved it in my nose, and I was like, it's fine. Everything's fine.
And Emily was like, oh, it smells pretty good.
She's such a weirdo. I love her so much.
And then Emily and Rachel tried it, and they were like, nope.
No.
Marble even tried it. I don't think she minded.
No, Marble liked it.
Marble liked it.
I mean,
Marble's got an acquired. She's from Wisconsin, actually.
She's got a refined palate.
We are not up to the standards of Wisconsinites. Like we're just not.
That was probably like a mild smelling cheese too.
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't realize that's how cheeses smelled, and I feel like I need to get some culture, some Wisconsin culture.
I will say, I've been up to Wisconsin for a wedding for one of my friends from study abroad, and I drove up there, and mainly just because like her parents lived out in like the middle of not nowhere, but like out. They lived out there, right? So I needed my car, and the highway I took, first of all, has all purple highway lights. Never seen that before in my life.
Purple.
So, very strange. I was like, oh, is this where Prince is from? Because I was thinking purple. Nope, completely wrong state. And then the other one was that they had, like, all these, like, obviously, like, cheese barns and blah, blah, blah. But my favorite one that I drove by that had the best marketing campaign, Cheese Castle.
We went there.
You went there?
We went there when we were visiting Milwaukee and Chicago back, I think, a year and a half ago.
Yeah, see, best marketing campaign.
The thing is, I told Andrew that, and he's like, fucking noobs.
Fucking
Tourists.
Cheese Castle, it has... I've never been there, but it probably has everything that I want. The medieval knights and cheese that I don't like.
Yeah.
I also... Andrew brought me cookie dough without chocolate, and oh my god, I fucking love you, Andrew. And I texted him and was like, I'm gonna need this recipe. Mm-hmm. I ate it as cookie dough for like 4 days, and then I was like, well, we should probably cook it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. It was like so gooey in the center.
It's so good.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
I think that was the highlight of the party, was the cookies.
It absolutely was.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good party.
Yeah, I walked around with my cups, and I had somebody who I'd never met before asked to buy a cup for me.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, what? No.
Nice.
It was so nice. Dude, everybody was so nice to me.
You should be like, $1 million.
I was just like, do you have a 20 on you? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay.
That's good.
There you go.
Yeah, some people bought some stuff down. I was not expecting to sell anything. I did put some pots out on the table just in case people wanted to look at them and stuff. I had probably 5 or 6 sales or whatever.
Well, so many people were looking at the Sgraffito and also the textured mugs.
Yeah.
They were looking at those a lot, and I was answering some questions for you because we're around. And then I also just pointed to your mug wall thing of all the special mugs that you've made for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were looking at that, and like the like yellow brownish one with the crazy texture in it. That was a crowd favorite.
The vase?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a vase. I was thinking that was a tumbler. Yeah, that's a vase.
Yeah.
It was so funny. April walked up and she was like, what? And I was like, oh yeah, that's the wall. That's like the Ryan's mug shelf, like all of Ryan's stuff. And she goes, I want a shelf for all my shit.
Mm-hmm. And it's like so selective things that I don't really like. I'm not making that kind of stuff. It's just random mismatch.
And then like
things.
Isaac pulled off one of the ones in the middle bottom, and he looks at me, and I was like, yeah, he made that. And he's like, well, why isn't he making these now?
And I just bought some glaze.
Yeah, and so he convinced
I'm gonna make more of.
Yeah.
Thanks, Isaac.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good push.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was really fun, like, because this space is so familiar to me now, and like, it was really nice seeing all these like friendly people around here, and like I was showing Emily like all my like stuff, and like I was just like, this is where we keep the clay, this is where we have the kilns, and I was just like, look, kilns, and she goes, wow.
Yeah, it's like a shared space, right? And you're like, hey, this is our space.
This is it. This is like my little home.
Yeah.
So it was so nice, and like, it was just great. It was a lot of fun, but like you can tell that people like when you're out of space for the first time at like a party and you're like a little awkward or whatever. I was just running around like, I know this place too much. Like, we're good, everything's fine. So
yeah, it was very comfy for sure.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, it feels good. Rachel was like, it's crazy how many people like you guys. Like, she didn't say that in a way that was like...
Like us?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, she was... I don't really remember how she said it a lot nicer than how I just said it. But, like, she was like, she's like, I guess I just didn't realize, like, the community that you have. You know, you don't realize it until you see it. And I feel
because you don't know who you're talking with. And you could just be like, oh, yeah, I talk to Kurt sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, like, he wants to come see my studio? Like, that's cool.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, and, like...
there's... The people that came are, like, they don't have to be here.
Like, they wanted to be here, and that was the coolest feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Ryan's party, but I feel like I'm like...
Yeah.
Nudged in there a little bit.
Yeah, you were inviting some people, so...
I invited a few, but I tried to keep my head low. But, yeah, like... It feels really great to have, like the first NCECA we went to, Like, we didn't really know anybody. Mm-hmm. We know a few people. Like, you knew more people than I did.
It was in Minneapolis. Yeah, we were in, like, Rachel and I stayed in a place. You stayed in a shared space with some folks you didn't know.
Yeah, that I didn't. Yeah, and, like, I knew Andrew, and that was, like...
Andrew Linderman.
Yeah, Andrew Linderman, and that was, like, it. And,
Was Isaac at that one, too?
I don't remember. I don't think I knew.
I feel like I met Isaac at that one. Yeah. Maybe it was at a different one.
But Cardboard Tim, like, he didn't really know who I was. And, like, this time, he was like, Becca! And, like, and now I'm, like, friends with, because of ClayCon West, I'm, like, friends with all the fucking vendors. Like, Jeff from GR Forms and fucking Kevin from Amico.
Yeah.
So every time I saw Jeff, he was like, Becca! Like, and it's so fucking weird. But, like, but anyway, what I was saying is, you know, in your first NCECA, you come in, and unless you are with somebody that has been to a few, you don't know a goddamn person. Mm-hmm. And or you, like, maybe know a few people, and it's kind of awkward. But, like, this one, it felt like... It felt different. Mm-hmm. And I think
the circle was way bigger. You could just walk through the vendor hall and you're going to see somebody that you're going to conversate with for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that the more you communicate like online and like in those circles, like it's not just our circle, right? We're not like the cool kids or anything, but like what I was seeing when I was looking at like Instagram posts and stuff like that is that everybody has their own circle. And you just have to, like, find your circle of people that you're kind of, like, hanging out with. Mm-hmm. And then the first NCECA is a little awkward. The second NCECA is, like, fucking great. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, so much fun because you're past the awkward stage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're, like,
because that was only your second NCECA, right?
Yeah. And it was your second.
That's my third one.
It was your third. But, like, okay, so second, third, whatever.
Yeah. Plus, I'm also from here, so I knew a lot of people outside of the circles of online people.
But, like, it's just, like, I think it's important to, like, find your circle and, like, really, like, give into that, you know? Like, be a part of it. Mm-hmm. Don't, like, if you're gonna come to NCECA, it's great to meet people and, like, just do the things. But if you can find a circle of people that you click with, that's, like, the best part.
Also, if there's just people that you, like, have a good rapport with online that you've, you know, most of those relationships for me is like through DMs, like just talking a lot through DMs. Like I don't call them on the phone or like have lengthy discussions like that, or we've talked to them on the podcast or something like that. Yeah. But if you have a rapport with somebody, like even if you're saying, hey, are you going to NCECA, and you just like bring up the idea, like maybe say, hey, have you picked your hotel yet? Maybe you room with them and a few other people, so you're not like, oh, I'm going to be a burden to somebody to ask them because a lot of people are just traveling from out of town. So like rooming up with people saves you money, and then it like gives you some folks to hang out with. And
for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple people on the first day, and like everybody was so giddy to meet to see everybody and like just like see each other again and whatever. And I had at least 2 or 3 people say to me that they're like, oh, it's your first NCECA. Okay, well, in the years to come, it's going to feel like summer camp with all your clay friends. And it's just like so much, it's just more fun to see people than it is to like actually do anything. Yeah. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I met Andy from Blacktooth Pottery, and we like Andy Williams. Yeah, Andy Williams. We just, like, sat down and, like, had a conversation. Then we ended up meeting the wife of the man who owns Coyote Clay. And then, you know, her name is Billy Butt.
I love that.
Billy Butt.
Billy Butt.
Double B.
Yeah. No, it was Willy Butt. Willy Butt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Will Butt.
And she was so nice. And, like, yeah, it's just, like... It's all about, like, meeting people. I do feel that if you go to NCECA and you don't talk to anybody, you're missing half of it. Yeah. You know? Even if
you're new.
More than
half of it,
More than half of it.
Like, I don't know. I think some people go to get the lectures and the content, but, you know, if you just go into a lecture hall and you just sit and you watch, there's so much more that you can get. Yeah. And, like, I feel like the easier ways to, like, interact is in the vendor hall, because there's stimulus around that you can interact with. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the booths or the demos or the tools or whatever, that you can like casually come up with conversations with people.
Well, there was those like intimidating smaller galleries at the beginning of the expo hall And those had, like, the emerging artist stuff in it. And one of them had, like, things carved into the bottom of their pieces. So all of the pieces were on acrylic shelving. So you could see through the bottom. And, like, people were crawling on the floor. And I was like, what the hell is happening? And I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, there's stuff carved under here. And so, like, I looked underneath. I was like, whoa. And so then we picked up this conversation about carving things into your bottoms of your pieces. And it was so nice. Mm-hmm. And I don't know their names. I don't know them. Like, it was just, like, a quick 5-minute thing. But, like, if I would have kept moving in on that networking aspect of it, like, I'm sure, like, we could have connected or whatever. But just, like, everybody's so nice. And if you don't take advantage of it, like, that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're shy, that is one thing, but I definitely think unless you're an outgoing individual, find a buddy. Mm-hmm. Like, find a buddy that you can go with at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that could be super intimidating and overwhelming.
Oh, for sure.
Just the number of people and interactions, and then you're probably self-conscious about, like, oh, am I being weird, or am I being...
Oh, I straight up know I was being weird. Like, I went up to a couple people and was like, I didn't even say...
People think I'm, like, stalking them and hanging out around them all the time.
Yeah. They probably thought that about me, because there was a couple times I didn't even say hello. I walked right up to them and was like, I follow you on Instagram. And they're like, oh. Ooh, yikes. I was like, it's not weird. I work for Ryan Durbin. Like, it's cool. And they're like, okay, a little less weird, but like, still weird. I don't know
who he is, but okay.
Sweet. No, it was like all of your friends. Like, it would be like people I had followed for, like, at this point, like 2 years almost. And I'm just like, I love your work. You're so cool.
I find that I'm just, like, too much. I'm too much for some people.
Yeah.
Well, I know that I'm too much for some people.
And that's why we can continue saying till the ends of the earth, we are the same person.
Yes.
It's like, I am absolutely a lot for a lot of people.
We found out tonight that we both like strawberry shakes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you don't, you're wrong, Ryan.
Obviously.
I just don't like milkshakes that much.
Weirdo.
Frosties about as far as I'll go.
It's fine.
They have strawberry frosties though, and they were fucking delicious.
Really? I've never had one. Yeah. I've had like the chocolate one and the vanilla one, never the strawberry.
Yeah, they had strawberry this summer, and it was fucking good. Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what did you? Because you and I go to NCECA for the networking mostly. Like,
well,
how many lectures did you go into?
I wouldn't have gone to NCECA had I not had to go to NCECA this year. I'm glad I went.
Well, you got a free ticket for the podcast panel.
I did.
We got lucky to get a ticket there.
Yeah. I would have. The only lectures I went to was all the podcast things. I wanted to make sure to go to Robbie Lobb's. That was the only one I intentionally went to. Mm-hmm. Hers and Rebecca's, I guess. And then the throwing shit one. And honestly, the only reason I went to that was because I was following everybody around. I didn't know what was happening. Like, I didn't look at the...
Did we intentionally went to that one?
Yeah, like, I know Jody went to a lot of stuff. And I'm just not
your attention span's not there for those kind of
My
talks.
attention... Like, I could stay the whole day in the... vendor hall, and just bug the shit out of people. That's fine with me.
And it's not that you're buying stuff either. You're just like walking around, talking to people, demoing, like hanging out, having conversations with randos, you know.
Yeah, and people notice, like, people recognize you, and I do feel like, I don't know, I mean, like,
you want to have time to talk to people, too. Like, if somebody random talks to you, you don't want to have to be like sorry, I got to go get to this talk in 5 minutes.
Right.
And you're, like, completely shutting down the chance to, like, share something with somebody, you know?
It's weird to be in one of those positions where you, like, know that, like, people are, like, fangirling over you or fanboying over you a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm aware that that's the situation that sometimes happens. But also, I'm aware of how those people feel. Mm-hmm. And I want to...
Being on the other end?
Yeah, being on the other end.
They're just, like, freaking out, kind of?
Yeah. And I want to make sure that... Not their perception of me, but that they... they walk away with a good feeling on the inside.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you know that they're a little bit uncomfortable. Make them more comfortable.
Yeah, like, how awkward is it to come up to somebody and be like, oh my god, I follow you, and I listen to your podcast every week.
Yeah.
That's, like, fucking awkward as shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I just lean into interview mode, and I'm just interviewing them.
I know, yeah, you just interview them.
I just ask them questions because I'm like, they're not going to
tell me your favorite episode. Yeah.
Honestly, when people say that, I'm like, hey, what kind of topics do you like us talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm curious to hear what you get a lot of value out of.
Yeah, and I think that that's what you and me have in common is that we were raised to be really nice to people.
Yeah.
You know, just be really nice to people and like be as welcoming and as inclusive as we could be. Mm-hmm. So when people walk up to me, I'm like, oh, where are you from? Like, you know, and I just kind of like try and chat with them because I know it can be really awkward.
Well, you and I talked about this the Sunday before NCECA a little bit when it was just the two of us here. And you had said, like, you were nervous about people coming up to you a lot. And, like, you were just like, it's just, like, the thought process of, like, being recognized kind of thing. Did you guys have a lot of people come up to you guys? Like, I don't really know. We haven't talked about this yet, so.
She probably had more than I did.
Your
Your personality's more, like...
Well, and I'm really easy to recognize. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a big lady, and I always wear a yellow apron.
And I was going to say, and, like, the glasses and fun hair.
The hair, like, I'm very easy to recognize. So I think that it was less than I thought this year, so I'm...
Mine was a little less, too, but I like that.
I do, too. I was happy with that. And it also made it a little bit easier to, like...
It's mostly the people that I knew. They recognized me and was like, oh, they, like, made an attempt to, like, come talk to you when they know you and they haven't met you before.
Yeah.
It wasn't a ton of random people that I don't know that said something and introduced themselves. Yeah. I mean, maybe at the demo booth and stuff like that.
Mm. The things that throw me off the most is when people go, hi, Becca, how are you doing?
It's just like, oh, who are you?
and they just, like, walk away.
They
and
need
I'm like,
to give you a context of, like...
Hi. Yeah, it's like, hi.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind it when somebody's like, hey, listen to your podcast. You're, like, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, oh, you're so fun. Bye.
Yeah, and I say, like, oh, thank you so much. And, you know.
Yeah. But imagine what it took. Some people, it took them to say hi.
It takes them a lot. It takes a lot.
Yeah, some people are like shitting
They're
bricks.
like, I can't carry on a conversation and like what are they gonna ask me?
Or like,
are they gonna be like, thanks? And then you're like very standoffish, but it's like, no, we're gonna be like, hey, thank you so much. Like, where'd you come? Where are you from? Is this your first NCECA? Like, there's like 5 or 6 questions that I could go to easily and just carry the conversation.
Yeah. So I guess what we're saying is, if you were one of those people that came up to us awkwardly, we recognize you. And we're
going to find you. I'm just kidding.
We're going to find you? No. We have been there before, and we appreciate you and your effort, and, like, we know how much it takes.
Yeah. And you could also be on the other end of that, too, and be like, if somebody's seeing you frequently and they're, like, engaging with you, they could, like, be needing somebody to, like, it could be their first time or nobody else that they know, so... You know, you could help somebody out a little bit and make it a little more comfortable for them if you're willing to, and they're not, like, so obtrusive that it's, like, you know.
Yeah, definitely. We had no weird hugs this year.
No.
No? Everybody kept a good boundary situation. That was great.
Yeah.
I think that it might also be, like, a COVID thing, because I'm sure there were a lot of people walking around with masks, too. Yeah. So, like, I bet you people are probably like, keep my hands to myself, which is super nice.
Also, I am definitely not opposed to hugs. Like, I'm just opposed to people hugging me without me knowing.
That's fair. Yeah. I was going to say, I don't really know how I feel about that. If I know the person, I want to hug. Yeah. If I don't know the person, please don't touch me.
Yeah, like, when me and Robbie met for the first time, I was like, Robbie! Yeah. And she looked at me and she was like, ah! And we, like, ran and, like, hugged each other so hard. Aww. Like, but, yeah. Definitely not opposed to hugs. Just opposed to, like, somebody coming up behind me and hugging me.
Yeah. That's a fight or flight.
That's a hard no.
Yeah.
What if you didn't know them and they're like, hi, Becca. Nice to meet you. Can I have a hug?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I would
just
absolutely
say yes. Just to, like, ease the uncomfortability of it, or the...
No, I totally am a fan of hugs.
Yeah.
Like... I'm just a fan of hugs. So, like, if you say, hey, can I hug you? I'm like, fuck yeah, you can. Yeah. Like, it's just, like, you just need to ask me so I know what to expect.
Yeah. I feel like if somebody came up to me and, like... So Liz and I met each other in person for the first time on Wednesday after, like,
Liz Cohen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After talking a little bit online, because she was my pot swap partner.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it was great.
You sent to her or she sent to you?
She sent to me. So,
right.
Yeah.
It was great. It was so great meeting her in person.
Oh, that's why you had such a connection with her before, like why you said you loved her stuff and all that.
Yeah, so like I was just like, oh my god, it's so great to finally meet you in person. And she like knew me right away. She didn't like, I didn't even go up to her right away. I'd like, well, obviously I was doing the Erica and NCECA smile.
Yes.
So I was like, Erica and NCECA smile, walking up to her. She goes, Erica! And I was like, Liz, you remembered my name. So, and like, I was just like, and she went, yeah! And then we hugged. And it was great. I was just like, oh, this is so
That was
nice.
Erica miming like an awkward hug situation where you throw your hands up and you're like,
Are we hugging?
What?
Are we
Huh?
not?
No?
Are we gonna hug? Are we gonna hug? Are we gonna be best friends? Are we gonna love each other forever for the rest of our lives? I don't know. Yeah. So
For
that's
sure.
Yeah, and like so we talked a little bit about the pot swap stuff, and then she asked me a bunch of questions about like working for you. I was like, Liz, you're so nice to me. Thank you so much. I'm not worthy.
Yeah. And some people you don't know, like, you know them through Instagram. And Instagram, you have that
Mask.
You have
Yeah.
that mask and that way that you can interact, whether you're on stories or whatever, that you choose exactly what you want to put out there. So you don't know how the one-on-one's going to be in person.
Yeah.
Especially with the vast number of people around, and some people get overwhelmed from that, or they're just like outgoing and they're just like whatever, and
Yeah, I think
you're worried about your persona of like what people think of you and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that definitely people like. I mean, you're a lot more goofy in person than you are in real life, or no, in Instagram life.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm very serious online.
Yeah, and I feel like Liz is that way too. She's pretty serious, not super serious, but like she's got more of a.
She's more funny on her personal account though.
She's definitely more funny on her personal account.
Yeah.
But when you meet her in real life, you're like, you're fucking hysterical. Like she makes these like little quirky like jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
That make me laugh.
She was very nice. Speaking of getting recognized, I got recognized.
What?
Yeah, at the podcast thing, after your guys' thing.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just talking to a couple people, and I like I like literally just like started talking, and I was about. I'm not gonna lie to you. I name dropped you a lot, and so, but I was about to get there. You built my career. Like I don't know what you're talking about. So I was about to say like, oh yeah, I work for Ryan, and someone looked down at my name tag and they go, "You're Ryan's assistant," and I go, "You know that?" And they were like, "Yeah, we listened to your one episode on the podcast and we loved it and blah blah blah. And we hear about you all the time on Ryan's Instagram." And
there you go. That's why I tag you.
God,
tag people.
They were so nice to me.
I love that.
They were like, "You bring so much joy to your work." I'm like, "It's because I'm new."
Who was that? You told us who that was.
It was Panina.
It was Panina and Sephora.
Panina and Sephora. Okay.
Yeah. They were so nice.
Yeah,
to
they
me.
were great.
They made me cry.
I met Panina once before, but Sephora, that was the first time I met Sephora.
Yeah, Panina said that she knew you from
She's from Lexington, so I saw her at an art show.
Yeah.
We're gonna see her again at the art show this year.
Yeah, she's always like, if you're coming through Lexington, let me know.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, she's really nice.
She's nice.
They're so nice. So I was like, I got recognized. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was great.
It was nuts.
That's awesome.
It was so nice. Speaking of recognized, also, there was a lot of people. I know. I'm sorry. I'm going off the rails. There was a lot of people that Emily had met, and she like was just like, "Oh, I'd love to follow you. I'd love to be friends. Like whatever." Goes to search them on Instagram. Already following them. She's like, "I love your work."
Emily already followed them.
Yeah, Emily was already following them.
Was it because she didn't know their faces?
She didn't know their face or their name or anything like that. She just knew their work.
It's so important to show your face.
Yeah. I don't know that I knew what Emily looked like though.
Yeah,
does she share her face a lot on?
No, not really. I think there might be like one or two pictures of her.
There's
on
a
there.
few.
Yeah, like there was one when she took like a bouquet making class where she has her picture with her bouquet. But like there was somebody in the line for the cup sale that we had met that she had been following for years for all of her sculptures because most of her sculptures were wood fired. And Emily's been like interested in that for a long time, and so she was just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm meeting you right now!" And this is such like she was right behind us in the sale line, And she was freaking out. She was just like, I love her stuff. Like, I want to see if she'll trade something with me, but I don't have anything. Do you have anything? I'm like, my shit's not good enough. Like, no. So, it was great. But, yeah. So, it's crazy who you meet.
See, I almost wonder what that experience would be like for somebody that's not publicly, like, they almost put, like, a alias on their name tag to see it. Like, they just, but then I feel like you'd not really get as much.
It would be like Joe, the only one that I can...
Like Old Forge.
Yeah, the only one that I could really think of that I could say on here without, like, you know, everybody knows that Joe never shows his face. You know, but, yeah, it would be like meeting him.
Yeah.
And, like,
would
not
he
knowing.
have the same experience if he crossed paths with people, but people didn't recognize who he was?
Yeah.
Maybe from his shirts or something, but...
Yeah. We were also talking about, like, when you look different. So, like, Rebecca, I Kiss Kara.
Rebecca, I Kiss Kara.
I Kiss Kara.
From the Maker's Playbook.
Yeah, from the Maker's Playbook.
She looks exactly the fucking same. You said that, and I'm like, I don't understand.
I don't know if it was, like...
She shares her face all the time on Instagram.
I know what her face looks like. I know fucking what her face looks like. I think it might have been that she was so tiny, and I was, like, not, not ready for it.
She's, like... the same height as you.
I know. But
well, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're so much taller than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Or you're so much shorter than I would have expected." It's you make those assumptions just based off of looking at like the profile of their face.
When I met Rebecca, she like came and she's like, "Hey, Becca," and I was like, "Hi," and it was one of those moments. I was just like, "Hi," and I look away and I was like, "Hi," and I like freaked out and. And I was like, I did not even recognize you, and I don't know why.
And she was with Francesco, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I recognize him more than her. And like...
But you must not see her on Instagram. Like, you must not look at her... She's
I
always
do.
on her stories with her face. I don't know. Her posts a little less of her face, but...
Yeah, no, I do. I watch all of her stories, and like... I don't know if she was just more tan, or if her bangs were a certain way, or like something.
I mean, you said she uses the ring light more for her stories, so maybe that's part of it, that like, more light, so she just looked a little different. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it was like that moment where I was just kind of like out in fucking blah blah land. I don't know. But, yeah, that one was funny.
See, that was the first time I met Kelly from Speedball, and I was like, I don't know what Kelly looks like at all.
Yeah.
But
luckily, we had those name tags, because I literally was, like, searching. But when I first walked up, I was just like, I have to find
Kelly. There was only, like, 4 or 5 people there, and actually the one guy, the guy with the glasses, the older guy, he's the, like, head chemist.
Head chemist, yeah.
Yeah.
I brought him one of my cups, actually. I gave him one.
Oh, nice.
He was like, oh, this is so cool.
She gave him, like, the royal purple one?
Yeah, and I was like, well, you can have it. Like, I got another one that I'm not selling, so...
That's awesome.
It's not that it's not selling, because it's just, you know...
Yeah.
It's just a smaller one, and it was very specific. But, like, yeah, definitely. Also, it was so fun how, like, the Speedball booth was, like, the fucking party booth.
Yeah, that was right in the perfect spot. It was, like, right in the middle, up toward the front a little bit.
And it was open.
They didn't have their, like, backdrop the first couple days, and then they ended up getting it the last day, but, like, they just fucking rolled with it. They put their backdrop up as best they could, and it was just the hangout spot.
Yeah, and it was, like, open, whereas, like, Amico had a little space to, like, hang out, but they had, like, more stuff that you can, like, work on stuff, and then their demos were in the front, and it was, like, right where you could walk in and see them, and then Speedball was the booth right behind Amico, and...
Speedball had, like, the outer U.
Yeah, it had, like, an outer U, and everybody... I felt like the people that weren't... in the know, I guess. There was, like, a line around it, and I was like, they're like, ooh, we're afraid to walk in.
It was, like, 30 by 20 or something, or 20 by 20.
Big.
And then they just had, like, 2 demo tables, and then they had the wheels in the front, so you could see people demoing, and
they
the
were
whole
giving
inside
away
was
bats.
open.
Did you get a bat?
No, they were all gone, like, within minutes.
Yeah, they were giving away bats. I got a bat, and, but it took a while for them to give them away on the first day, because nobody knew.
Yeah, it looked really nice, because they were all stacked.
Yeah.
And looking good.
Yeah, and they were right next to the Diamond Core booth, which we were at for a little bit, because Emily wanted to try out some of the tools and stuff, and I was like, oh, I've used actually a couple of these, and my dumbass accidentally, I was just like, oh yeah, I've used these before, Ryan has.
Oh gosh.
And I pulled it the wrong way. And the guy's like, flip it over. I was like, oh yeah, I do this all the time. It's fine.
It's like, who taught you?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's cool. Yep, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, they had a massive booth.
Yeah, they did. On the other side, they had the sinks, like the
the
internal,
recirculating sinks.
Yeah, Emily's actually gonna get one for her in-house studio because she's moving to her new house this week. So she talked to the guy.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's really cool. So we talked to the sink guy for like probably an hour. He was very, very helpful. So it was really interesting. I've never seen a system like that before. I've only ever seen...
Rick has a system kind of like that?
No, he doesn't. Well, if he does, then I don't know.
That one sink that was right by the wheels, does he not still have that recirculating sink with I mean, it's the plastic sink, but it's got the thing underneath it, and you put your foot on the pedal, and it pumps the water out.
You just put a fucking fountain.
Negative.
He didn't have that anymore?
Nope.
Why don't you just put a fucking fountain pump in a fucking 5-gallon bucket? Shoot it through a plastic hose.
That's a good idea.
You could make that sink for less than $100.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I mean, you'd probably want like a structure or something.
Well, they also have like...
Danny Meisiger has a fucking throne sink. Mm-hmm. It's like the most beautiful throne sink, and it is set in a 5-gallon bucket.
Nice.
And I was like, Danny, that's the fucking best thing ever. He doesn't have a drain. He just takes a 5-gallon bucket and throws it outside.
Oh my god. Wait, so he doesn't like reuse the clay that's in there, or does he use
That's just a sink in the bathroom.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Wait, that's your hand washing sink? Is that what you mean?
No, it's just a sink in the bathroom for like your hands.
So
yeah.
Funny.
Oh, so he still uses like running water for
it's still running water,
but it's just a 5-gallon bucket.
There's no drain.
Oh my god, that's so funny. He just throws the water.
That's funny. Okay. Wow.
Oh no, he doesn't throw it away. He puts it in the toilet. That's what he does. He puts it in the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Does he also have an outhouse that goes by it that you shit in the outhouse and?
No, he has an actual bathroom, but he said that when I was there 2 years ago, he said that he'd only gotten it like a month before that.
Wow.
Or something. Maybe it was a year, but I don't know. It was not very long.
Wow.
Before that.
You know, I was envisioning a throne sink over a 5-gallon bucket in a house, and I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Heard of in my life. That's why I thought it was so funny.
No, it's just like a studio, but it was still very funny. It was like a magnificent sink.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to do that. I actually kind of want to do that in the van.
You should.
Just have it in a bucket.
Like, make the most beautiful piece of art you've ever made in your life.
Stick it in a fucking Sherwin-Williams blue bucket.
And you're like, you got like toothpaste stains on it and stuff.
That is art.
Installation.
This is not a sink.
Yeah. This is not a sink. As you have like a toothbrush cup on the edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. For sure.
And then we basically recovered for 2 days after Friday.
Yeah.
They did announce the newest NCECA stuff. So Richmond is next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the dates, but I think it's the 19th or something like
21st
that.
21st or something like that. Yeah, like 18th through the 22nd or something like that.
Of March?
Yeah.
Is it March every year?
Yeah. I think it's March 20th through 23rd.
Okay.
Next year.
I told Andrew that he might have to go in my place.
Andrew Linderman?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He'll be Becca.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hi, I'm Becca Otis.
Yeah.
From Five Lights Pottery.
Okay, so it's in Richmond, Virginia. I'm going to be in Utah.
Mm.
Oh, because you're saying you're not going to make that. What if you flew?
I could fly, and I guess I could probably put my cats with one of Emily's friends, like Emily and Joe's
You're saying because
friends.
you're going to be in Utah for ClayCon West in January.
Yeah, but I'm just going to stay out in Utah for the winter. Like, medium winter.
Yeah.
Post-Christmas winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, flying all the way to Richmond for, like, 3 days sounds a lot. Sounds like a lot. But at least I can room with you.
Yeah.
Not me just looking up where Richmond, Indiana is.
Richmond, Virginia.
No, Virginia.
Oops.
Richmond, Indiana is not that far from Indiana. Indianapolis, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not.
That's where Ben Clark's from.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Richmond, Virginia?
No, he's from Richmond, Indiana.
But, I mean, does he live there right now?
No, Ben Clark.
Ben Clark. Ben Clark. Ben Clark.
Queen City Clay.
Queen City Clay.
Yes.
How long is it from Washington, D.C.? Is it like an hour?
Oh, no, very short, I would think.
It's not that far.
Yeah.
Because if I have a place to stay, I might go. If I don't have a place to stay...
You're not going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things.
What if you get a free
like...
conference ticket from it?
Okay, that might change things. So Kelly, if you're listening, I will go. Just kidding. I'm looking it up right now. 2 hours. Oh yikes! I'm not driving 2 hours after a conference. Okay, well, if I get a free conference ticket, then I'll go. But
you can just stay with us.
Yeah, that works.
And then they announced 2025 that's in Salt Lake City.
Which is going to be fucking great for me.
Yeah, I was going to say that would work out perfect.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's going to be with ClayCon West being in Utah. In Utah, because it's in mid-January and then Salt Lake City, so it's like right on top of it. But
so what's interesting about Salt Lake City, from people that live there, of what I've heard, I don't live in Salt Lake City, but from what I've heard, it's not very artsy. Like, there's, like, not a lot of art galleries. There's not, like, there's just, like, bars and restaurants. Mm-hmm. So I guess that, I don't know if there's, like, museums and...
I mean, it's a huge city, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I would imagine...
If it's not, like, art-centered, then it's, like, the wrong crowd. I shouldn't say
well,
that.
all the artists come there for the show, for like ceramics come there. So maybe it's like a.
I mean, I've just imagined that it's going to be a little tweaked in the sense of like the shows and the like galleries are probably going to be in like big restaurants and stuff like that.
Well, also like is that so? Are obviously like the window galleries and some of the other like more NCECA sponsored style showings of stuff is like. Obviously coordinated through the conference, but like all of the smaller artist meetups and like all of like the like local like Queen City Clay and like Baker Hunt and like all those other things that are doing their own small little things in addition to NCECA. Like if they're not gonna have those because they don't.
There's no like big clay center.
Yeah.
In Salt Lake City, I guess that what they said was there's like a few smaller clay studios.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's interesting, like, coming from that part of the country because, like, you know, I'm from Colorado, but I've been in Washington and those areas. Washington is pretty artsy, but it's interesting how, like, some of those cities, like, hide their art almost. It's, like, hard to find.
Yeah.
And in the Midwest and in the South, like, the Mid-East and the South and the East, it's, like, not hard to find art.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like Cincinnati's already, like, so artsy.
Yeah, Cincinnati's so artsy.
Yeah. And then, like, the industrial vibe, the architecture, it just fits well with the clay.
Yeah, it fit really well.
And, like, it didn't seem, like, out of place or anything.
It wasn't, like, it wasn't a square fitting into a circle. It was just snug as a bug in a rug.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. Like, I know a lot of people were upset about, like, the placement of the conference being in Ohio and, like, all the, like, the legal shit that's happening. But, like, at the same time, it's just, like, you're going to get that anywhere in the Midwest right now. Yeah. And so, like, there's not really much you can do. And Cincinnati is, like, such a great art community. It's, like, you can't really pass that up.
Yeah.
Like, there are artists who are living in Cincinnati that deal with it, like, I mean, like, me and Ryan and like all of the other people who are like at Queen City Clay and like people live in Ohio and we deal with it, so it's just like it is what it is.
Yeah. And how does like Cincinnati compare to Cleveland, like artsy wise? Because I've only been to Cleveland like once or twice, but you're from Cleveland, so
I mean like there are a lot of artists up there, and like you have to seek them out though. It's not like in your face the way it is. Not I don't want to say in your face.
They're
like,
hidden.
Yeah, they're hidden the way like some of the other cities are. Like I had talked to a couple of my friends that I used to do, like, online gaming with, and the one dude, his name is Drew, he was just like, oh, well, like, I've taken wheel classes, but I had to drive an hour and a half to get to the studio. I'm like, why don't you just buy a wheel? Like, just go buy a shitty one. Who cares? Yeah. He goes, oh, just because I wanted to meet people, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I did it. But he's like, yeah, there's not really any, like,
that was in Cleveland?
Yeah. He's like, there's not many community studios in Cleveland.
I think that, like, Queen City Clay is a rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, most people I heard walking out of that were like, I've never seen anything that big.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the Minneapolis place was that big, but...
Northern Clay Center, maybe.
Maybe.
Not quite. Because of where it was, like, it wasn't...
Yeah.
It didn't have that much space, but...
Yeah, like, but they were like, I've never seen anything that big. That is so cool. And I do feel like Cincinnati's got, like, such a good hold on ceramics that...
Rookwood being here helps. And
Rookwood, Baker Hunt, Queen City, like...
Covington Clay, Core Clay, like...
All of it.
You can take classes from, like, 5 or 6 different...
Yeah.
Probably more than that, because there's community centers and other things like that where you could take classes, so...
Yeah.
And then, like, I think that helps with, like, the shows that I sell at, too.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen the differences in shows here versus elsewhere, that there's, like, an appreciation for it differently than other places where, you know, in some cities, I'm sure it feels like, oh, there's, like, all these people here. Like, it's just cluttering up our town.
Are you okay?
Because I'm trying my thing.
Is that a cue? We just hit 2 hours, by the way.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. You weren't going to stay the whole time, but you ended up doing it.
Too late.
Yeah, I feel like some people will probably be like, oh, there's this huge conference going on, like, it's clogging up traffic, or I can't go eat anywhere because there's all these clay people around, or whatever, but...
Well, also, like, I told so many people in my life, because it's just, like, I just see so many people at work, and, like, I was just like, I'm going to this conference in Cincinnati, I'm so excited, blah, 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 and I told them all about it, and they're like, we didn't even know this was happening, and I was just like, how could you not? It's literally, there are billboards and, like, stuff everywhere. There were signs at the airport where
where you came in,
yeah, the Cincinnati airport says, CVG welcomes the current NCECA, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then it had, like, a picture of the main program. And I was just like, yeah. Like,
but I think that's a testament to, like, all the things that always happen in Cincinnati on a weekly basis. There's true. So many things going on that you can't know about all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So, as somebody that drives through Indianapolis quite literally every day, like when I'm there, it's phenomenal how many conferences they hold in Indianapolis that, like the fucking Farmers of the Future or whatever that club is.
Future Farmers of America.
Yeah,
FFA.
Like
I love the Midwest. This place is amazing.
Like, you know, you just like drive through and you're like, oh, the farmers are here, or oh, look at that. Like
they have like March Madness there all the time. They have, the NFL Combine is there.
Yeah,
so they just had that there.
They have a 3M. They have the firefighters convention there. They have the 3M, like, surfaces and sticky people convention there. Oh, you mean,
like, freaking Scotch tape 3M?
Yeah. Like,
oh, my God.
Like,
that's fancy.
Like, they're changing the things every single week.
That's so cool.
They have Comic-Con there. They have, like, everything there, and you wouldn't know unless you drove through it every single day.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
It's wild.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
There's like a lot happening around these here parts.
I mean, that's how they keep that local economy going too, and I mean, I feel like it's part of their business for the cities to like make sure people enjoy the city, so they want to come back and experience it or move there or whatever. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and get the hotels booked.
That too.
Yeah.
Restaurants full, hotels booked.
That's right.
Parking tickets written. I was so nervous I was going to get a ticket.
Scooters driven.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was like constantly asking people. I was like, "Hey, how do you like the conference? Have you been in NCECA before?" And then I'm like, "How do you like the city? Like, we're from there." And then they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I live 10 minutes across the river." They're like, "Really? I didn't know that." They don't freaking know that, like...
Oh my God, there were so many people that were like, what Kentucky is 2 minutes across the road? And I was just like, yeah, did you not look at a map before you come here? Like,
they're like, you landed in Kentucky.
Yeah.
If you're on the CVG.
Exactly. Like, I drove Emily into the like, up 75 And, like, you know how, like, there's that really picturesque view of downtown?
That's my favorite.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh.
And I was just like, bro, look at that. And she goes, wow, what's that? I'm like, that's Cincinnati. She goes, I thought we were in Cincinnati. I was just like, no, we're in Kentucky. Literally everybody was just like, did not know that Kentucky was a thing.
So, like, a thing
They're
about...
like, no, we flew into Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you flew into CVG, which is Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky International Airport.
My favorite thing about Ryan and his, like, this is his dad mode. Like, this is his dad coming through full on.
Yeah.
Is that every time he picks somebody up from the airport that's never been to Cincinnati, he takes them home the long way.
You do?
Not every time. I've only done it like once or twice, maybe. I just did it to Jody. I'm like, hey, Jody.
He did it to me,
I was like...
So at least twice.
Yeah.
But you flew in?
No, I didn't fly in. I fucking drove there, and he was like, you have to see the city, and we, like, went around, like, the long way.
It's the best view. I'm like, Jody, and it was... I got Jody from the airport at, like, sundown, so it was, like, perfect time.
Wait, so you went up 75 and then over 471?
Yeah, so instead of just taking 275 right back to the house, I was like, we're going toward downtown, going through downtown. Because he'd never been to Cincinnati before, so I'm like, we're going this way. When you get up here, you're going to see the overlook of the skyline, like it's the best view of the city. And then go through downtown and then
You're
come back
so
home.
proud.
Well, I want to, like, ask people, how do you like the city? Because, like, I've lived here for a long time, so I want to see, like, what do you enjoy about it?
Yeah, I really like Cincinnati.
Me too.
And as far as the, like, I don't know if anybody said it wasn't clean, but I think it's very clean.
Yeah.
As far as a big city or big mid-city is concerned.
And you know what's interesting is like, a lot of places are smelly, and, like, they're, like... I drive around a lot for work, and there's really only one part of Cincinnati that's smelly. And, like...
It's right by your work, isn't it?
It's right by my work. But everywhere else, I feel like
Thanks a lot, McDonald's.
I know, right? What the hell? No, it's actually near the old Jim Beam factory that's up near Roselawn. Ugh, it smells so gross over there. It smells like hot sewage mixed with, like gross yeast. It's so bad.
That's the worst. When there's, like, breweries and distilleries all around, it smells gross.
But it's, like, also mixed with hot sewage smell.
That's,
like,
disgusting.
But there's kind of an industrial area over there, kind of by Hopple or something like that sort of smells like that, too, though.
Well, Grater's factory's over there, too, so I don't know if that's, like, a dairy thing, too, and then there's a bunch of factories
cows
over
smell
there.
like shit, and I don't know how the whole cow, like...
I mean, they don't have fucking
making
cows
of cow
over there
things smell, but...
Yeah, there has to be some kind of curdling happening. So,
there
like,
has to be.
That specific area, disgusting. I never have... I like to have my windows down in the summer. I always roll them up when I go past that, like, 2-mile stretch right there. I'm just like, this is fucking gross. Everywhere else smells great. But, like,
So
Cleveland... It's a little stinky.
I think Indy's even clean. I mean, growing up in, like, near Denver and... Oh, God, Seattle is the fucking worst.
I've never been there.
But Denver, Seattle's, like, way more dense than Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, Seattle's just really fucking dirty and gnarly and, like, always, like, you're like, is somebody gonna come up from the sewer line right now? I have arisen!
Like, covered in, like, gross green garbage and, like, like swamp person, but sewage person.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, exactly. Who wants a pizza? I'd be like, I don't think I ever want to touch anything you've ever touched.
Gross.
Got a talking rat trying to teach me kung fu in the background. Sorry, go on.
I was trying to see Cincinnati in a list of cities, but I don't... For population. Columbus is a...
What is Cincinnati's population?
I don't know.
I'm going to say... give your ballpark number. Price is Right rules.
But Cincinnati... It's like, what's considered Cincinnati? Because it says... Are you going to...
No, we're guessing.
You're gonna
guess. It's Price is Right rules. Just without going over.
Just population?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say...
It's way lower than I thought.
150K.
No. I'm saying, like... Well, Ohio's population, I think, is like 2 million people.
I feel like you have a lot higher, like, you have more stake in this game, like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's either like, I can't remember if it's like 1.5 mil or 2 mil people living in Ohio. So I'm going to say Cincinnati is, I'm going to say like 500,000.
Can I change my answer to 320?
Shit!
Okay, Becca was closer. It says
Damn.
313,000.
Damn! You were really
I thought it was
close.
way more than that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But like,
It's a
you
small
also don't know
city.
the size of it though, because it says like,
Right.
it says Columbus is way higher. It says Columbus is 941,000. What?
Well, it depends on area code.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
like
stupid.
what's considered
Yeah.
the greater like Columbus area?
Or
'Cause
not
if you
area
said,
code, maybe it's zip code, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they do consider Norwood as its own city. So, but like, Norwood is.
so
like,
what if you said like greater Cincinnati area?
Yeah.
And would that include Northern Kentucky as
that,
well?
I think that would too. Because like, there are a lot of people who live literally right across the river. And they're like,
Yeah.
I'm in Cincinnati. And it's like, you're in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But like, it's all the same.
Well,
Greater Cincinnati population. Okay, 1.7 million.
What?
Shut up!
No way!
Metro area population, Cincinnati 2023.
Wait, can you look up the state of Ohio population real quick?
Yeah, but that includes Kentucky.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see what Indianapolis population
Greater
is.
Metro. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, in the general list of cities in, like, New York is the biggest at, like, almost 19 million.
All right.
So Cincinnati's, like, 20 on the list.
Do you want to guess Indianapolis?
I'm
I
looking
mean,
at
I
the
see
screen,
it. It's
so I'm
very
not allowed
close.
to look.
It's very close to Cincinnati. If you go by the number I just said. It's like 2 million.
It's 2.075 million.
Yeah.
Let's see what Denver is.
I was way off.
Denver's almost 3 million.
I was way off about the Ohio population. Take a wild guess of how many people live in the state of Ohio
I'm going to guess.
as of 2021.
I'm going to guess 3 million.
Mm-mm.
I have a question.
Are you gonna guess?
I'm gonna go with 5 million.
You're both wrong. It's 11.78 million people
What?
live in the state of Ohio.
11 million? Wow.
Look at what's happening. I'm trying to.
See,
like,
I just figured like
Look,
Columbus
I'm
and
trying to,
Cincinnati
like-
and Cleveland, like they would make up most
I'm
of it.
trying to like.
Yeah, it's insane. What are you doing?
I can't like highlight this and then delete it.
It's not letting you. That's so stupid.
Cleveland's like right at Cincinnati too, so they're about the same size actually.
Yeah.
Population wise.
That was stupid. I don't know why
That was
doing
really
that.
stupid. Okay, Ryan.
Okay, I'm not gonna look.
What are you looking at?
Seattle population.
Seattle
I mean, I got a
population.
list here. I got a fucking list that I'm looking at too. It's, I don't know, like 10 million.
No.
I'm gonna say Seattle population is
fucking
2
way off.
million.
3.5.
Damn. Okay. Huh. How many people are there in the world? 7 billion?
I don't know.
We're gonna look.
Los Angeles is 3.9. That doesn't make any
No,
sense.
it says Los Angeles is second biggest. It says 12.5 million.
Okay, that was wrong. Maybe it was just.
I mean, I'm looking at this is macrotrends.net is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Mine is just google.com. Just kidding. World population, 7.8 billion people.
Billion. Yeah.
Okay.
There was one time that I said trillion and everybody looked at me like, oh, honey. I'm like, all right, I'm allowed to say dumb things sometimes. It's fine.
Oh my god.
You're like, tell me you know the difference in counting between billions and trillions. Like, there's just a lot of fucking zeros.
There's
on
just
this.
too many people on this earth, okay?
There's just a lot of zeros.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fucking 11, almost 12 million people in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
What? Excuse me? No.
Yeah.
Whew. That's crazy.
Top 5: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Wow, Dallas and Fort Worth and Houston are in the top 5?
Yeah.
That's
They both
crazy.
have about 6.7 million.
Dude, what the fuck is up with Texas?
Everything's bigger in
Huge.
Texas, baby.
I don't know how I
Those
feel
are-
about that.
You don't mess with
How
Texas.
many people are in Texas just...
San Antonio's
They're
the next
like the-
highest one.
third or fourth most populated state. So
Shut up.
I would, yeah, because it's
California's most, I think.
Yeah, it's California, New York. Is it Illinois then Texas? Maybe it's Florida then Texas. But Texas is up there.
I don't think that you can get an accurate count on Florida. Half of those people are dying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, our birth rate's been down too, right?
Yeah. It says California, Texas, Florida.
New York's not on it?
And then New York is fourth.
New York's a tiny state.
I know, but like New York City, it's like
But think of like the rest of the state, though.
That's true.
There's not any other like major cities in New York. Besides New York City, right?
Yeah, because like there's Buffalo and Syracuse, but like those are like Midwestern style.
And like
cities.
Rochester, yeah.
Yeah, they're not like city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 40 million in the state of California in 2021.
Shut.
Damn.
I think there's like 330 million in the states.
That's crazy.
All right. After all that population talk.
Yeah. So relevant.
So I'll definitely be at Richmond next year.
Becca's up for grabs.
Speedball wants me to come back and demo again, so they were like...
So if they want me back, I'm down.
I'm sure they'd be happy to have you.
Well, if Speedball wants me to demo, I'll come.
Wow.
Okay. Get on some
I
of those.
just have to find...
Did you get you got some amethyst from them?
Yeah, I have to try it out.
You get some more samples from them.
I just have to...
Or get some samples from me and I can...
Yeah, I just have to... finances have to be in order, and I have to find a place for the cats.
It's a long fucking trip, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm not driving.
You're not
fucking
driving from Utah to
no.
Virginia.
No, fuck that shit.
That's
literal
insane.
coast to coast.
I already did that this year, and it was terrible, and I didn't even go from coast to coast.
Yeah.
I went from mid to mid.
Yeah.
Honestly, anything longer than like an 8-hour drive, I'm like, no, absolutely not. No.
I mean, the alternative would be you already kind of decided on Utah. You'd have to stay in like the southern states or something during the winter, alternatively, and stay on the right side of the states.
Yeah.
For the winter.
Nope. This year,
so
my plan for the winter, if I have all my finances in order, is to go down to Memphis, stay in Memphis for a little bit, then I want to go all the way south.
Okay.
Like, I want to drive south.
Like
I want to drive through Texas.
Like
yeah,
west,
I want to go west, but through the south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Texas, Arizona, all the New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You hadn't been to New Mexico yet, have you?
No, I'd been to New Mexico, but I hadn't,
Oh, really?
Not in a while.
Yeah.
Have you been to Arizona?
I've been to every state except for Texas.
Fun.
Texas,
never been to Texas?
Hawaii, Alaska, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Nice.
Ooh.
North Carolina, South Carolina. Okay.
You gotta see those. North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah. Outer Banks, it might be a little touristy. Very pretty, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, super pretty.
Yeah.
I like Raleigh.
Yeah.
That's a good little city.
Asheville's in North Carolina,
North
right?
Carolina.
Yeah,
That's
Asheville's
very pottery
really
heavy.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty artsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like small town artsy.
You know, I can't remember who is it. Swell Ceramics. It's
She's in Outer Banks.
She's in Outer Banks.
She's in
Myrtle Beach.
No, she's in kind of about Wilmington, North Carolina.
I've always wanted to visit her studio.
I don't think it's Outer Banks. I think it's like Devil's Head or something. Or
Does she let people visit her studio?
Yeah, it's like a store too.
It's a store.
Oh, it's a store
with her stuff in the back.
Melanie, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to go in there because it's just it feels very peaceful.
Yeah, she always shows pictures of the beach, walking her dog on the beach, and it always looks really nice. Their winters look like light jacket weather.
I love that.
That's what's up.
Beach. It's like beach town.
Ugh.
Definitely touristy beach town, but
bunch of townies.
Yeah. I think they're on the. I don't know if the peninsula is the right word, but they're on the strip that's
Yeah.
That's out there.
Separated by an intercoastal waterway or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I guess that's considered. Is that what Outer Banks is named?
Yeah.
Because it's between the ocean and the intercoastal
Yeah,
waterway.
you have to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And then we'll see about Salt Lake City. I don't see why. Becca would definitely be there, but.
Would you do it twice within 3 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would still do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't. I mean, it'll be a lot, but I would still do it because I've never been to Salt Lake City, and Rachel would like to go there too. So
yeah, do you guys, when you go to ClayCon West, do you fly into Salt Lake, or what do you guys do when you
fly into Las Vegas
and then drive up?
Yeah, it's about an hour. It's about an hour and a half from Las Vegas.
Okay,
it's a pretty drive.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And I'm sure the weather will be really pretty or really nice in March too.
Yeah.
You shaking your head? It's not pretty in March.
That's not what I'm shaking my head about.
Oh, you're shaking your head at something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Any last thoughts about NCECA stuff?
No.
And you could also, in the future, if you don't want to pay for a ticket, if you're like worried about it, like you can volunteer for the NCECA organization and volunteer like 13 hours and you get a free ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is something we should say. Deanna did she did the bus tour and she said she had a fucking blast.
Oh, really?
Like she volunteered and she was like a bus tour guide.
Oh,
and she got to see like
signed up to...
No, she didn't sign up. She got to do the bus tour. Like she was like wrangling cats for the bus tour, and she said other than that, the wrangling part, it was so
was that a volunteer task for NCECA?
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah,
I feel like I would kill that.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Oh my god!
Because you get to like specify your preferences and stuff for that. That's cool.
That would be so cool. I'd be kind of mean to people because I'd be like, all right, we got to get the show on the road. Like, move.
Yeah, you have specific ones you got to hit.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking Greyhound bus that you're wrangling people onto and off of.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I feel like I would have so much fun being a bus tour guide. Maybe I have to do that. Exactly. It'd be like, hey, everybody, is this your first time at NCECA?
Roll call.
Hey, everybody.
Can we get a hey, yeah?
Whose favorite road trip song is 99 Bottles of Beer on the Wall? Let's sing it together.
I didn't like go... I've never did the bus tours. I'm not into the gallery hopping part. We didn't go to any gallery. We went to the pop-up, the one in Potster's pop-up, but we didn't go to any galleries and stuff.
Yeah,
like, I just don't...
We weren't... I don't know if we would have even gone... I mean, like, I don't know if I would have even gone to the Imposter's pop-up had it not been our location for the...
Pottery get-together.
The get-together. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just not as into, like, the artsy pedestal art. So, and we live here, so we could go see it in the next couple weeks if we wanted.
Yeah.
But...
I want to go see the, there's a gallery at NKU right now for Yoonji Kwak, for her perforated moon jars. Oh my god, they are so pretty.
I've seen those.
I really want to see more up close, because she has the bigger ones there.
Yeah.
So those are going to be there through the 25th. I don't even know what day today is. The 24th. It ends tomorrow. I'm going to go tomorrow, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it ends through, I think it's through tomorrow.
It's almost the end of the month, so...
Yeah,
Oof.
So I think I'm going to try to go there tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Just try to hit it before it's over, because oh my god, guys, I bought a jar from her.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'll have to bring it over.
Was she selling them at a booth or something? Or
No,
did
it was at the table that she was demonstrating at. I thought that they were just the example ones, and at the end she goes, "These are also for sale." And we were all, Emily and I looked at each other, and we bolted to the front of the room, and we got them.
I remember you said that you almost, like, threw a few people overboard.
Yeah, I was just like, move the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it was great. They're so pretty. Oh, they're so pretty.
Yeah, they look really cool.
Yeah.
And you got to see her make them, too, which is sweet.
Yeah, it was great. That was a really good time.
Yeah.
Back to your final question. What about you? Did you have any takeaways from...
Mostly just the socializing. I mean, I was pretty overwhelmed throughout the day of, like, I didn't eat enough throughout, obviously.
Oh, God, we had the worst headaches.
I had, like, a lingering headache every single day. And I think it's just so many people and not prioritizing, like, eating at a decent time. Because normally, during the workday, I'll just get some fucking tea and then I'll eat at, like, 1 or 2 o'clock and I'm good. But I'm not interacting with people throughout the day. So I think I was just getting a lingering headache from not eating.
Well, Emily and I packed every day, and we had some leftover food, and we just kept, like, shoving it on Ryan, like, please eat. Please fucking eat.
Yeah, Friday I didn't eat before I did lunch.
Yeah, Friday I didn't eat until we got back to the house. Yeah. Oh, Emily gave me a banana.
Yeah, banana or a nectarine.
That probably got me through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, I mean, we packed a lunch every day, too, but it's still...
It's hard to, like, just pick a time and just be like, all right, we need to go eat. And,
Yeah.
like, beeline to somewhere and just eat without interacting with somebody for another 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. There was a couple times where we were, like, standing around and we were talking to some people, and I, like, just started eating my sandwich while I was talking to somebody. I was just like, I'm going to pass out if I don't have this turkey sandwich right now. Yeah.
Man, that would suck being, like, I don't know how the restaurant thing worked out during the day, but, like, having to go find a place to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Well, there was that
sucked.
food place that was in the in the expo hall.
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, Kayla, that girl that was friends with Emily, also now that I'm friends with, she got food from there. And then there was also that, like, peanuts and candy place that was right by the escalators.
Oh,
So
yeah, the
good.
pecans, yeah.
So good. It was really good. We got chocolate covered Oreos from them.
Ooh.
It was great.
Get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the networking, I think, is the main. Like, that's what it's become for me. Like, I wish I could just pay for the, like, expo hall part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a free pass anyways, but with the demoing.
I really think you could get in there without the ticket. Like, you could just make your own.
Oh,
I'm not
easy.
saying you should, but...
You could.
But you could.
Easily. I mean, I was going through your boxes trying to find that wire tester thing, the voltage tester, and I saw lanyards from previous years and NCECAs in those boxes, and they're the exact same ones.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that out loud to tell people that, but, you know, here I am saying it out loud, telling people that. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't go to any of the, like, keynote speeches or anything like, I don't know. Did you go to any? You went to the demo ones, but, like,
representatives.
Yeah.
they're also, like, artsy related that I'm like, I don't really relate to this stuff.
I don't want somebody to, I like lectures where I can see what's happening. I don't want to be talked to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're a visual person.
Yeah, so, like, I didn't want to go
or
to
like
any...
a slideshow lecture.
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, even that, I'm like, it can't be longer than 30 minutes, because if I'm listening to somebody talk, it's just, like, I'm going to fall apart. So, yeah.
It's got to be some tangible stuff. Like,
yeah.
That's why I thought the throwing shit was good, because they were talking, and they were talking about their lives and their work a little bit, but they were actually demonstrating, too, so it was, like, grabbing your attention, as well as, like, Rich was just really engaging with his talking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd much rather do that than, like, have somebody go flip through slides and, like, talk about their work and what influences them and all that shit. I'm like, I just like to make pretty pots. Like, I don't really have any deeper meaning to anything I make.
We're very shallow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not as much for the studio potter.
Yeah.
No, I feel that, though. Like,
but there's got to be a lot of people that feel the same way. That
yeah. Well, I mean,
it's so education focused, but that's kind of the intention of the.
Yeah. I mean, there was the panel for the emerging artists thing. It was like on like Thursday or something, like right in the morning, and we wanted to go to it. We walk in and their sound system wasn't working, and they had them set up on the opposite end of the room, so like you had to turn your own chair around to face them. It was weird. And then, like, after a couple questions, I was just like, this is not serving me at all. Like, I gotta go. So me and Emily just left. So
yeah.
But I mean,
yeah, I mean, they make beautiful work, but I feel like I see it in a gallery, I would just be like, that's really pretty, like, and I'd wonder how they made it. That's where my brain goes, rather than, like, I wonder what they made this for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, with that,
thanks everybody for listening.
Good night.
And
sleep tight, and may your dreams come true. Adios, au revoir. Good night and day to you.
That was so cute.
You know what that's from?
No.
Lawrence Welk.
Lawrence Welk.
Because I'm 85.
I don't even know what that is. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Erica, for joining us as well.
Thanks, you.
Guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Yo, higgity, yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have... What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one. because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review because they're fun to read. Okay, bye!